Chapter 57. Almost done. Tianyun felt that his refining was almost done. He refined 10 high-grade spirit tools and a large number of medicinal pellets for Yen family. This is already a great reward. Of course, he also got a lot of benefits. He directly leveled up. His medicinal pellet proficiency instantly rushed to intermediate level. Primary medicinal pellet proficiency is relatively low, so it is not difficult to rush to intermediate level. After he finished refining, he got up and walked out of the door. The maid outside hurriedly bowed and respectfully said, "Young Master Yi, how can I help you?" "They are on duty here all day, not to guard him, but to see if he needs any help." "Nothing, take me to see Miss Yen," Tianyun said. The maid hurriedly took him to see Yen Lingxue. When they just arrived at the hall, they heard the conversation from outside the hall. "Yen family head looks good, it seems that there is no big problem." Zheng family head sitting next to him said with a smile, "But it looks like there is a hidden dagger in his smile." "Yes, a few days ago I heard that Yen family head had some problems in his cultivation, but now his complexion is a lot better, so we specially came to congratulate him." Wang family head smiled and said, "This is our congratulatory gift, please accept it." Yen family head sat in the middle of the hall. Yen Lingxue stood next to him, but both of them have a friendly smile on their faces. "Many thanks for the kindness of Wang family head and Zheng family head. This Yen family is already very grateful for the two of you coming to see me." Yen family head smiled and did not accept the gift. "No need to be polite, our two families have been good friends for generations, this is nothing." Wang family head smiled and said, "But this time, we came here to ask for Yen family head's help." "What kind of help? Please say it. If this Yen family can help, I will definitely help." Yen family head squinted his eyes and smiled. No one knows what he is thinking. "In fact, it is nothing. I heard that Yen family has an alchemy furnace, and it is also a soul tool. I don't know if I can borrow it?" Wang family head said with a smile. A murderous intent flashed in Yen family's patriarch's eyes. Yen Lingxue's delicate body trembled. When did this news leak out? Wang family head, you must be joking. How could our Yen family have something like that? It's already good enough that we have a few high-grade spirit artifacts. Yen family head laughed. "Pa!" The Wang family head slammed the table beside him, and it shattered into pieces. He sneered and stood up. "Enough, stop acting stupid. The people we planted here have already investigated this soul tool alchemy furnace. Do you think we're stupid? I didn't make a move earlier because I was afraid of your big brother in the Qingxian mansion. Recently, there was news from the Qingxian mansion that your eldest brother died while training outside. What else do you have to rely on now?" His face was torn apart just like that. His previous gentleness was all an act. Zheng family head stood up with a smile. This smile was so creepy. He gently kicked the box next to him and found that it was actually a coffin. He didn't expect that it was not a gift at all, but a coffin. Yen family head, be sensible. I'll give you a chance. Hand over the soul tool alchemy furnace and marry your daughter to my son as a concubine. Yen family will not disappear completely. Otherwise, from now on, there will be no Yen family in Tianfeng City. Zheng family head's words were even more straightforward. This coffin is prepared for you. Either you die here, we will bury you well, or you live, it's your choice. Both of them were at the first level of core condensation. Zheng family head was slightly higher. He was about to break through to the second level of core condensation. Overall, he was much stronger than Yen family head. When Yen family head heard that his eldest brother died, there was no surprise on his face. But Yen Lingxue was shocked. Her eyes turned red in an instant. "Dad, Uncle He," her eyes were red. She instantly understood why her father desperately tried to break through to the core condensation stage. Because if he didn't break through to the core condensation stage, Yen family would be besieged by the other two families. "Let's go." Yan family head dragged Yan Lingxue and gently pushed her towards the courtyard. At the same time, Yan Lingshue's aura skyrocketed and instantly rose to the peak state. But compared to the two of them, her aura was still too weak. Originally, her cultivation was not as good, plus her soul was injured. How could she recover so easily? Want to leave? Do you think it's possible? The whole Yan family is surrounded by our people. Zheng family head sneered. Yan family head's face became pale, but he gritted his teeth and said, "It seems that even the heavens want me to die." When he woke up, he wanted to evacuate, but the appearance of Yi Tianyun made him temporarily not choose to evacuate. He planned to wait for Yi Tianyun to finish refining the soul tool alchemy furnace, then choose to evacuate. He didn't expect that he would be too slow. I said, "Hand over the soul tool alchemy furnace, and we will let you go." Do you think I am stupid? Do you think I have been the family head for many years? Yan family head said angrily. You just want to take down our Yan family without wasting a single soldier. You want to let us go? Is that even possible? Zheng family and Wang family will let him go. Obviously, it is impossible. Leaving behind a root of trouble will cause endless troubles. Zheng family head and Wang family head showed a cruel smile. It seems that Yan family head's words have spoken their thoughts. Since you know, there is nothing to say. The result is as you think, that is a dead end. Zheng family head sneered. A dead end? Who's a dead end? At this time, a figure walked in from the courtyard, followed by Yan Lingxue, standing behind the youth. The youth who walked in is Yi Tianyun. Who are you? Zheng family head looked up and down at Yi Tianyun. He can't see anything. I am just a distinguished guest of Yan family. You want this alchemy furnace? Yi Tianyun stretched out his hand and the purple fire divine furnace appeared in his palm. Their eyes lit up, revealing ecstasy. This is a soul tool. Their heartbeats suddenly accelerated. This is a soul tool, a thing that ordinary sect does not have, but in the hands of a small family head. Yan family head saw Yi Tianyun came in with Yan Lingxue and said anxiously. Why did you come back? Yan family is in trouble, it is not very moral to run away. Yi Tianyun smiled and said. I did not expect to see a group of people coming out of the alchemy furnace. Just now I was outside, I know a little bit. Yan family head, you gave me this alchemy furnace, originally you planned to let me take Miss Yan away with me, right? Chapter 58. Yan family head, I didn't expect you to give this soul tool to this kid. I don't know if you are an idiot or do you believe him. Zheng family head looked at Yi Tianyun and said sarcastically, not only did he not run away, but he also brought his people back. This is really funny. Kid, I will give you a chance, give me that alchemy furnace. Seeing that you are not a member of Yan family, I will give you a way out. The two family heads look at Yan family's head and Yi Tianyun as if they are idiots. What morality is this? It's just a fart. Being able to survive was the key, not talking about morality and righteousness. Nonsense, do you think I will believe you? Yi Tianyun sneered, under the skin, there is a dirty heart. If I give you this alchemy furnace, won't you kill me in the end? Will you really let me go? Zheng family head looked at him and sneered, it seems that you are not too stupid, but it is the same, if you don't give it to me, I will take it myself, you can't stop me. If you give it to me, I can leave your body intact, but now it seems that it is not necessary. As soon as his voice fell, Zheng family head rushed towards Yi Tianyun, the power of core condensation broke out, the whole room was filled with a very oppressive aura, no one can escape. At this moment, Yan family head rushed in front of them and shouted, Brother Yi, quickly go, take Yan, her away. All he can do now is to stop Yi Tianyun for a while, but it is impossible to stop them for too long. Yan family head, leave this to me. Yi Tianyun gently pulled his shoulder and dragged him back. Yan family head felt his body was out of control, he slid back and stood next to Yan Lingxue. The next moment, he quickly stretched out his hand and made a grabbing motion in front of him. A terrifying suction force rolled out from his palm like a tornado, trying to suck everything in. Absorbing Star's great technique. A terrifying suction force swept out in all directions. Family Head Zeng, who was rushing over to snatch the pill furnace, was startled. He wanted to break free from this terrifying suction force, but it was too late. Yi Tianyun fiercely dragged Zeng family's head back and grabbed his arm, 4000 EXP, 4300 EXP, 4200 EXP, under the effect of crazy EXP mode and double EXP pill, his EXP skyrocketed. Family Head Zeng only felt that the spiritual energy in his body was quickly sucked out, as if it was being dragged out by something, and he couldn't stop it no matter how hard he tried. What kind of evil technique is this? Patriarch Zeng was shocked and angry at the same time. He slapped his hand again, trying to send Yi Tianyun flying. However, his palm was easily caught by Yi Tianyun and continued to crazily absorb it. It's a pity that both of his palms grabbed Family Head Zeng and couldn't double the absorption rate, so the experience gained was almost the same. It doesn't matter what kind of evil technique it is, as long as it can deal with you, it's a good technique. Yi Tianyun smiled coldly, madly extracting the spiritual energy in his body. No matter how hard Family Head Zeng struggled, he couldn't break free from Yi Tianyun's suction force. His heart was already cold. There was only one reason for this situation, that is, the cultivation of this young man in front of them is much higher than theirs. At such a young age, his cultivation is already higher than theirs. What kind of monster is he? Let go of me. Wang Family Head didn't just stand there stupidly. He quickly picked up the spiritual sword and stabbed it towards Yi Tianyun's side. The terrifying sharpness flickered in the air, wanting to pierce through Yi Tianyun in one fell swoop. Yi Tianyun's eyes were cold, and he kicked Family Head Zeng's knee. With a crack sound, Family Head Zeng screamed and knelt on the ground. His leg seemed to be broken. When he knelt down, Yi Tianyun quickly released one of his hands. With a silent command in his heart, the frost fist on the equipment bar was instantly put on his hand. A light blue luster flowed on the surface of the fist. Compared to the original frost fist, it has more spirituality. Ding! Yi Tianyun grabbed the spiritual sword that was stabbing over. No matter how hard Family Head Zeng tried, he couldn't stab it at all. Although the grade of the frost fist can only be regarded as a low-grade spiritual weapon, it was not so easy to pierce it. This power, Family Head Zeng was dumbfounded. He had used all his strength to stab, but he couldn't push Yi Tianyun at all. In the next moment, Yi Tianyun dragged the spiritual sword over, and Family Head Zeng was also dragged over. However, Family Head Zeng's reaction was not slow. He instantly let go and turned to escape. He already knew that he can't win, so he can only escape. Want to escape? Come back. Yi Tianyun raised his hand, and a terrifying suction force attacked again. Family Head Zeng was abruptly sucked over. No matter how he tried to escape, he couldn't get rid of this suction force. Finally, his back was sucked by Yi Tianyun, and his spiritual power was madly extracted. This time, the EXP was different. It rose by 800, and it kept rising. Feeling the EXP constantly rising, Yi Tianyun felt very comfortable. If this continues, breaking through will not be difficult. Yan Family Head and Yan Lingxue, who were standing behind him, were both dumbfounded. They didn't expect that Yi Tianyun could easily suppress Family Head Zeng and Family Head Zeng. It was completely easy, without any pressure. Obviously, Yi Tianyun didn't release any terrifying aura, but he still suppressed them, and the gap is not a little bit. This brother Yi's cultivation is so strong. Yan Family Head's eyes widened. He couldn't believe that a teenager who is about the same age as his daughter can be stronger than the two family heads. When he gave the alchemy furnace to Yi Tianyun, it was indeed because he was optimistic about Yi Tianyun's future. He also wanted Yi Tianyun to escape with his daughter, but that's a matter for the future. He didn't expect that Yi Tianyun would immediately show such an amazing level. There is no need to wait for the future. His current strength is already very heaven-defying. He can help their Yan family suppress Wang and Xing family. Young Master Yi's cultivation has reached core condensation. She was shocked and covered her mouth. She didn't know what to say. After a while, the spiritual power in the two's body was completely drained. Yi Tianyun threw them to the front. They collapsed on the ground and kept rolling their eyes. The absorbing star's great law caused a lot of damage to them. Their spiritual power was constantly being drained and it also hurt their mental state. But soon, they calmed down, and when they saw Yi Tianyun standing in front of them, their eyes were full of fear. "You, who exactly are you? Which sect are you from?" The two of them knew that they kicked an iron plate, and it's not a thick iron plate. This kind of monstrous genius, there is no force behind him, it is absolutely impossible. Chapter 59. Yi Tianyun's cold voice made them shiver. Which sect is the most important? The most important thing now is to survive. The two of them looked at each other and saw the fear in each other's eyes. Winner takes all. If you want to kill me, it's up to you. Xing family's head immediately calmed down. He did not beg for mercy, but chose to accept his fate. This courage is worthy of praise. Not bad, you have a bit of courage, but unfortunately, I don't appreciate it. After that, Yi Tianyun threw out immortal fire. The terrifying flame immediately wrapped around Xing family's head and instantly engulfed his body. At this moment, he activated luck aura, 5 times luck. Xing family's head screamed in pain. He kept rolling, trying to extinguish the flame, but no matter how he rolled, he couldn't extinguish the flame. Originally, his spiritual power was drained. It is impossible to resist the invasion of the flame. After a while, Xing family's head was burned to death, burned into a pile of coke. There was no sign of life. Ding! Successfully killed Xing family's head, gained 40,000 EXP, Life Flying Soul Snatch Secret Art, Human Level High Grade Martial Art, 1000 Crazy Point. His EXP has quadrupled. He gained 40,000 EXP, which is quite good. This is the effect of doubling, but also the effect of high cultivation. A level core condensation can provide 10,000 EXP. The most important thing is that Xing family's head is not a big boss. He can only be regarded as a small elite. Cultivation is higher than the previous Xing family's head, but it doesn't mean that he can become a big boss. He needs to meet certain conditions. As for how to determine the position, Yi Tianyun doesn't know. Anyway, he just needs to kill. Not bad, this can't be wasted. Yi Tianyun certainly won't let them go. It's not a matter of experience, but they were so cruel just now. If he didn't improve his cultivation recently, he will really die here. He was never cruel, but once someone provoked him, then don't blame him for being cruel. When Wang family head saw Xing family head turned into charcoal, he quickly crawled up and knelt in front of Yi Tianyun, begging for mercy. "Please don't kill me. I will listen to you. As long as you let me go, my Wang family will listen to your instructions in the future." Wang family head was obviously not as courageous as Xing family head. He quickly begged for mercy. He didn't want to die. As the head of the Wang clan, how could he possibly wish to die? "I feel that even if you listen to my instructions, you will betray me in the future. I have no interest in people like you." After saying that, Yi Tianyun flung out a stream of flames, which wrapped around the Wang family's head. Miserable cries rang out continuously as the Wang family's head rolled on the ground. The spiritual power that he had recovered with great difficulty was of no use against these flames. He was still burnt to a crisp. Both of them were not in the same level of cultivation. The power of immortal fire was naturally more amazing. Killing him in a second was not difficult at all. Ding! Killed Wang family head, gained 40,000 EXP, Hegemon Cloud Secret Art, human level high-grade martial art, 1000 crazy point. He gained a lot of EXP and human level martial art, but this martial art is meaningless to him, the grade is too low, he has no interest at all. But since he gave it to him, he will keep it, he can give it to someone else someday. I haven't leveled up yet, it seems that I need a lot of EXP now. Tianyun adjusted his current attributes, and it was clear at a glance. Player, Tianyun level, 24, 4th level core condensation, EXP, 28728 crazy point prestige, 70 points cultivation technique, Dark North divine art, Dragon God secret art martial arts, Absorbing stars great technique, Sky cloud step, 10,000 swords return to origin weapon, Frost fist, Scarlet dagger, Wind chasing blade, Heavenly wind blade armor, Snow wolf battle boots, Divine armor, Shadow cloak divine ability, Crazy mode, Luck aura bloodline, Dragon god bloodline ornaments, Forging god hammer. Power bracelet, power ring, power belt all items, 20 recovery medicinal pill, 8 double EXP pill, gift pack LV31 inch. I need 600,000 EXP to level up, no wonder I can't level up even after absorbing their spiritual power. Tianyun shook his head, but he found that the experience gained from absorbing spirit power is more than killing them, so it's more cost-effective. If he can, he is willing to do this, but if there are too many enemies around, he won't have a chance to absorb spiritual power. Absorbing stars great technique is more suitable to deal with a small number of enemies. If there are too many, he can't absorb spiritual power slowly, unless the grade is higher. After killing the two, he turned around and saw the two stunned people. He smiled and said, "What's wrong, what's the matter?" "No, I don't know, Brother E, how strong is your cultivation?" Yen family head asked dumbfoundedly. 3rd or 4th level of core condensation, anyway, that's about it. Tianyun smiled, took out a storage ring and handed it to Yen Lingxue and said, "There are medicinal pills and weapons inside, it's enough to upgrade your Yen family's power by a few levels. The rest is either choose to leave Tianfeng City, or choose to stay in Tianfeng City. How to choose, it's up to you. Anyway, the two family heads have been killed by me, I don't know if you have any enemies." No. Our Yen family has never had any enemies, it's just that they were too greedy and aimed at our alchemy furnace, that's why this situation happened. Yen family head sighed, it's really a crime to have a treasure, but he can't just hand it over. How to deal with the rest, it's up to you. I've cleared the cultivators outside, it's time for me to leave. Tianyun smiled. Before he came in, he had already cleared the guards outside, otherwise Yen Lingxue wouldn't have followed him. But Yen Lingxue didn't expect that Tianyun's cultivation would be so strong, much stronger than the two family heads. "Young Master E, are you going to leave like this?" Yen Lingxue wanted to keep him, but she couldn't think of any reason. Tianyun's performance is too eye-catching, but they all think that behind Tianyun, there must be a powerful sect behind him, so they don't have the qualifications to keep him. "Yes, I still have something to do." When Tianyun was about to say something, a sound of footsteps came from outside the door, a group of people came in from the outside. Among the people who came in, there is an acquaintance present, that is Kong Liang. Apart from Kong Liang, there were two other experts with extremely powerful auras. They had just entered, and their auras were overbearing. The entire room was enveloped by their terrifying might. Tianyun looked up, the appraisal eye automatically opened, and immediately the information of the strong cultivator appeared in front of him. 4th level core condensation, wearing a soft golden muslin, can easily resist the attack of spirit refinement realm. Early core condensation realm, can resist more than half of the power. Comprehensive combat power is 23,000. Chapter 60. As expected of a young hero, you're able to kill Wang family head and Zheng family head at such a young age. This level of cultivation is really amazing. May I know which sect this little brother is from? The middle-aged man smiled slightly, he looked quite amiable. I almost forgot, I am Wind Pavilion's Vice Pavilion Master, Yuan Ping. Do you want to make friends with me? Kong Liang, who is standing on the side, looked at the two burned corpses next to him, and his heart shuddered. Fortunately, he didn't provoke any conflict with Yi Tianyun before, otherwise, he would have died. His cultivation was much worse than Wang family head. Wind Pavilion. Yi Tianyun frowned, he doesn't have a good impression of Wind Pavilion. When he saw Kong Liang next to him, he knew the situation. He must have gone back and told everything, so Yuan Ping came here. He must have sent a few spies to check the situation here, otherwise, how can he come here at such a coincidence? Not interested. Yi Tianyun is so straightforward, he already caused some conflict, and now he wants him to join Wind Pavilion. Isn't this a slap in the face? Little brother, why are you so stubborn? Soul Tool Alchemy Furnace is a good thing. Yuan Ping's eyes flashed with cold light, he already inquired about the news, he knows why these two are here, so it's not surprising that he knows. Immediately, his tone changed, and he said solemnly, you can take this thing, but there is a condition, that is to join Wind Pavilion. Listening to you, why do I feel like the real owner of this Soul Tool Alchemy Furnace is you, not me? Yi Tianyun sneered. Yes, I'll give you a chance. Join Wind Pavilion, and you can use this alchemy furnace at will. Or die here, like Wang family head and Zheng family head, you will become a corpse. Yuan Ping's eyes are cold, full of killing intent, don't think that you're the strongest after killing Wang family head and Zheng family head. They just broke through to core condensation not long ago, and you can easily kill them with your second-level core condensation cultivation. Judging from your aura, you are at core condensation second or third level. To be honest, it's already amazing, but compared to me, you are still too weak. Immediately, his fourth-level core condensation strength burst out all of a sudden. He's much stronger than Wang family head. He's worthy of being the Vice Pavilion Master of the General Pavilion. You Wind Pavilion have always been so lowly, not only you slander and suppress others, you also want to rob them of their treasures. Yi Tianyun shook his head, he thought this is the end, he didn't expect Wind Pavilion to come to him again. Brat, I'll give you one last chance. Choose to surrender or resist. Yuan Ping said coldly. Beside him is another elder, who is also at the core condensation stage. This lineup is much stronger than the previous Wang and Zheng families. Seeing the Soul Tool Furnace, their hearts were filled with greed. If they let Yi Tianyun go like this, it would definitely be a huge loss. It's okay to join Wind Pavilion, but if you don't want to join, then he'll have to snatch it. Soul Tool Alchemy Furnace, that's something that even third-level faction wants, it's impossible for them not to be tempted. Yi Tianyun said indifferently, I'll also give you one last chance, either get lost or die. Yan Lingxue and Yan family head both took a deep breath behind him. Saying such words to Wind Pavilion is simply courting death. However, he had been forced to this point. He could only choose to join or die. There was no other choice. It means that even if you hand over the Soul Tool Alchemy Furnace, there's no point, you still have to die. This surrender is basically tantamount to completely obeying their orders, it's not a situation where you can just leave. Brat, I gave you a little face, but you still dare to be arrogant. Yuan Ping said coldly, in that case, don't blame me for being impolite. As soon as his voice fell, Yuan Ping rushed over here, the storage ring on his hand flashed, and a high-grade spirit sword appeared in his hand. He waved the sword and stabbed toward Yi Tianyun. The fierce sword flashed for a while, and a crazy murderous aura came from all around him. This move is already a one-hit kill, he wants to directly stab Yi Tianyun to death. Frost Fist, open. Yi Tianyun gently clenched his fist, and with a bang, a burst of ice quickly spread in front of him. In an instant, the group of people in front of him was directly frozen into ice sculptures. One by one, they couldn't move, they were stunned in place. Yi Tianyun walked over and muttered. Crazy EXP mode, open. Take 2 double EXP pills. Yi Tianyun walked over and used Absorbing Star Great Technique, and a crazy suction force rolled forward, and the frozen Yuan Ping was sucked and stuck to Yi Tianyun's palm. A steady stream of spiritual power was pulled out, turning into a huge amount of EXP and poured into the body. Especially after he stacked many people together, after connecting them, their spiritual power was crazily sucked in, and the spiritual power in their body was sucked in at once. 100, 000 EXP, 100. 000 EXP, 980. 000 EXP, EXP kept pouring in. All they can do now is to look at Yi Tianyun stupidly, they can't move at all. The effect of the upgraded version of Frost Fist is good, core condensation stage is still frozen by me. Yi Tianyun looked at them and smiled indifferently. The effect of this Frost Fist is as he thought. After the upgrade, the effect has been greatly improved, even core condensation stage can still be frozen. Frost Fist, low-grade spirit weapon, effect, ice attribute attack, slow movement speed, consume crazy point, can use special skills, completely freeze the area within 200 meters, causing super freeze, last for 5 minutes. There is no indication of how much cultivation can be frozen here, just how long it can last. The change is only the change in the range, the rest of the values don't seem to have changed much, but the effect is undoubtedly improved a lot. Yan Family Head and Yan Lingxue were dumbfounded, they just felt a cold air passing by, then Yuan Ping inexplicably couldn't move, standing in the same place. Yuan Ping's eyes widened, staring at Yi Tianyun, he wanted to speak, but he couldn't say a word, his whole body was frozen, naturally, he couldn't say a word. 5 minutes later, the spiritual power in their body was completely drained, there was nothing left. Immediately the freezing effect disappeared, they quickly collapsed to the ground, the spiritual power in their body was sucked out, their body became soft, and they couldn't get up. What is this evil technique? Yuan Ping was shocked, and his answer was the same as Zheng Family Head, they were all shocked. They have never seen a martial art that can suck out the spiritual power in their body, but now it is in front of them. Chapter 61. This time, when Yi Tianyun asked this question, his tone was so sarcastic and scary. At this time, Yuan Ping finally knew what kind of monster he is facing. No wonder Wang Family Head and Zheng Family Head were killed, it's not that they are too weak, but Yi Tianyun is really strong. I didn't expect you to be so strong, but I will never give in, if you want to kill me, I will listen to you. Yuan Ping did not compromise, but looked at him coldly and said, as long as you let me go, then today's matter will be written off, I will not hold you accountable. As long as you kill me, you will be hunted down by our Wind Pavilion. The Chief Pavilion Lord will avenge me, no matter how you run, you will not be able to escape. Yuan Ping is not afraid of death, he even threatened Yi Tianyun. As long as he kills him, he will be hunted down endlessly, he will never be able to escape. Is that so? Then I am looking forward to it. Yi Tianyun looked at him and sneered. He raised his hand to his face and gently wiped his face. The 100 transformation mask was taken off, revealing his original face. After Yuan Ping saw this, even the people behind him were dumbfounded on the spot, their eyes were filled with disbelief. They have never seen this face before, but they have all seen it on the wanted poster, this familiar face is right in front of them. Inside Wind Pavilion, as long as they can capture Yi Tianyun, then they can become the Deputy Pavilion Lord of any branch of Wind Pavilion. In addition to the Deputy Pavilion Lord position, there are also the rewards, so many people want to capture Yi Tianyun, so that they can achieve a meteoric rise in their career. Now this person is in front of them, not only his cultivation is terrifying, but he can also change his appearance, they can't see through him at all. Yuan Ping did not hesitate, he slowly recovered from the shock, pointing at Yi Tianyun, he was stunned and speechless. No need for you want to kill me? Do you think I am short of this? Yi Tianyun sneered, and in the next moment, he punched Yuan Ping heavily. Yuan Ping was able to resist it, but it was useless. Boom! The group of them were killed on the spot and turned into experience points that fell into the system. His experience bar skyrocketed. Ding, successfully killed Yuan Ping, gained 60,000. 000 EXP, double EXP pill, Heaven Feather Sword Technique, 1400 crazy point. Ding, successfully killed Deacon Lu, gained 15,000 EXP, double EXP pill, 800 crazy point. A series of EXP and items dropped from the assassin's corpse, falling into Nya Yan's inventory one after another. His EXP skyrocketed. Ding! Congratulations to player Yi Tianyun for successfully breaking through to level 5 of core condensation stage. Finally, after killing this group of people, he once again ushered in a breakthrough, successfully broke through to the 5th level of core condensation. This leveling speed was quite fast, but he still felt that it was not enough. If other core condensation experts heard Yi Tianyun's thoughts, they would definitely explode in anger. You still think this is slow? Those who are in their 30s or 40s are still at the 2nd or 3rd level of core condensation. How old was Yi Tianyun? 17 years old. It's scary to say it out loud. After killing the assassin, Yi Tianyun turned around. He didn't put on the 100 transformation mask, he looked at Yan Lingxue with his real face. You are Yi Tianyun. Yi Tianyun. You really are the person wanted by Wind Pavilion. Yan Lingxue was shocked, another explosive news. Yes, I am the one who is wanted by Wind Pavilion. Yi Tianyun didn't explain too much, he just said to them, I'm afraid you can't stay here anymore, it's best to move out of here, otherwise Wind Pavilion or Wang family will pursue this matter, it's possible that you will be harmed. Wind Pavilion's deputy pavilion lord died here, how can they not pursue this matter? No problem, brother Yi, we will leave tomorrow. Yan family lord nodded, then you have to be careful, don't get caught by Wind Pavilion. Yan family lord, aren't you worried that I will do something bad to you? Yi Tianyun smiled. If you are going to do something bad to us, you won't save me, and you won't help Yan. Yan family lord smiled gently, he wasn't worried at all. Yi Tianyun shook his head and chuckled, he didn't answer. Young Master Yi, are you going to leave like this? Yan Lingxue wanted to ask him to stay, but she couldn't think of any reason. Yi Tianyun's performance is too eye-catching, but they all think that behind Yi Tianyun, there must be a powerful sect behind him, so they don't have the qualifications to ask him to stay. Yi Tianyun smiled, immediately turned around and put on the mask, he said, yes, I still have something to do, see you later. Yan Lingxue opened her mouth to say something, but she couldn't say it, she could only sigh and bury it in her heart. Yan, do you like him? Yan family lord smiled and said. Yan Lingxue blushed, she nodded, but then shook her head and didn't say anything. Hey, don't think too much about it, he has this kind of cultivation at such a young age, in the future, he will definitely become the strongest of his generation. His meaning is already very clear, he can't match up to Yi Tianyun. If Yi Tianyun is here, he will definitely see Yan Lingxue's favorability is as high as 270. She rushed up to Yi Tianyun, not because of a quest, but because she saved the whole family, so her heart is tied to Yi Tianyun. After Yi Tianyun left, he didn't stay in Wind City for too long, he turned around and continued to go back, directly to Jade Palace. After leaving the city, he immediately rode on the Snow Wolf and rushed to Jade Palace. Inside Jade Palace. Palace Lord, Heaven's Immersing Ancient Ruins is about to start, I don't know when you will decide the quota. Great Elder next to her asked carefully. Shi Shuyan's face sank, ever since she heard that Yi Tianyun was chased away, she kept this expression, from the beginning, it never changed. Therefore, anyone who saw her cold expression would tremble from the bottom of their heart, and they would be very careful with their questions. Now it's less than a week before the opening of Heaven's Immersing Ancient Ruins. Yi Tianyun's quota has been empty, no one knows when it will be filled, finally Great Elder couldn't help but carefully mention it. Who doesn't know Shi Shuyan's temper, usually very good, but now it's like she changed a person. No matter who it is, she doesn't have a good face. Empty it, wait for Tianyun to come back. Sure, Shuyan's voice is cold, obviously in the room, but it makes the elders feel like a cold wind blowing, so they can't help but shiver. But, what if he hasn't come back by then? Great Elder asked carefully. I said empty it, wait for Tianyun to come back, don't you understand? Sure, Shuayun raised her eyes flashed with a bit of cold light. They immediately shook their head. This palace lord seems to have lost her soul, she can't hear anything at all, so they don't know what to say. Palace lord, I know you are worried about Tianyun, but we can't always be like this. When Heaven's Immersing Ancient Ruins opens, do you want to leave this quota empty, not willing to let other outstanding disciples enter? And he also said that he will no longer have anything to do with Jade Palace in the future. Moreover, Wing Sect and Wind Pavilion have said that if we dare to take an Tianyun, or help him, it is tantamount to becoming their enemy. In this way, isn't it equal to causing trouble for us? The one who spoke was naturally the second elder. Although she had changed her mind later on, she was still very dissatisfied with such a big incident. She didn't expect that after turning around, she would cause such a big trouble for them. Second elder, do you think it's Tianyun who brought trouble to our Jade Palace, not because of them? Sure, Shuayun is as sharp as ever, from the beginning to the end. Qin Shui said everything, she knows the details. At first it was Kong Xingfeng, then it was Liang Tiancheng, and finally it was Tianyun who angered Tianyun. From the beginning to the end, how can it be Tianyun's fault? Even so, we should know how to endure. If we don't even understand this, how can we achieve great things? Second elder said with dissatisfaction. Not everything can be tolerated. Our Jade Palace has been enduring for too long, leading them to think that we are easy to bully. Don't you think that Jade Palace has not been bullied enough over the years? Sure, Shuayun's words are very sharp, directly hitting the most fundamental reason. Forbearance is a good thing most of the time, but if you let others bully you, how can you endure? For example, this time the quota for Heaven's Immersing Ancient Ruins is such a situation. If it wasn't for Tianyun, they really lost the quota. This is the result of forbearance. Second elder and the others showed a helpless expression, they don't want to endure. But their strength is not enough, they can only choose to endure. Palace Lord. At this time, the guard hurriedly came in from outside, looking nervous. Palace Lord, Wing Sect and Spirit Sect people are here, huh? Heaven's Immersing Ancient Ruins is not open yet, they came early, there must be some conspiracy. Sure, Shuayun stood up, her expression is even colder. If anything happens to Tianyun, I will bury the entire Wing Sect. Her voice was incomparably cold, and it didn't sound like something a 20-year-old would say. However, no one doubted her words, because she really could do it. Even if her current cultivation wasn't high enough, she could still do it. Chapter 62. At this critical moment, Wing Sect and Spirit Sect coming to Jade Palace is not a good thing. Sure, Shuayun and several elders got up and walked out of the palace. Outside, Wing Sect and Spirit Sect master came, and their momentum was overwhelming. Both of them are at the 5th or 6th level of core condensation, and they are both in their 30s. Compared to Sure Shuayun, the gap is immediately obvious. Sure Shuayun is only in her early 20s, but her cultivation is higher than them. She is at the 7th level of core condensation. It is estimated that in a few years, it will not be a problem to break through to Spirit Core realm. This is talent. It was only because of her heaven-defying talent that she was able to secure her position as the Palace Lord. In the entire Jade Palace, there is no strong cultivator of Spirit Core realm. She has such potential, how can she not sit in this position? Cultivation and talent are the most important things in this world. 2 Sect Masters, what can I do for you? Sure, Shuayun's momentum is no weaker than the 2 Sect Masters. If I remember correctly, there is still about a week before the opening of Heaven's Immersing Ancient Ruins. Even if the time is up, you should go directly to Heaven's Immersing Ancient Ruins instead of coming here. Standing in front of Shi Shuiyun are the sect master of Wing sect, Qing Yuncheng, and the sect master of Spirit sect, Jia Zhiyun, 2 sect masters. In addition to them, there are also several elders following them. Their momentum is very tense, it feels like they are here for revenge. Palace leader Shi, this time we are here for one of the spots. Your outer disciple Yi Tianyun killed our disciple and Wind Pavilion's pavilion lord. Now this account should be settled, right? After many days, they came to Jade Palace together. Before, they just sent a message, but today they finally came to visit in person. As soon as they came to ask for the quota, they really came with bad intentions. Yi Tianyun has already said that he is no longer our disciple. Furthermore, he is only an outer disciple, not an official disciple. What he does has nothing to do with us. The second elder immediately stood up to refute. She was not willing to bear the responsibility. What a joke. So if we send someone to kill your people and then say that it's not our people, we can stay out of this matter? Qing Yunqing sneered. There was really no way to refute this. If everyone was like this, then that would really be the case. What a joke. Tianyun only did this because you kept provoking him. Your disciple was arrogant and despotic, slandering the weapon forged by Tianyun as inferior goods. Not only that, he even launched a sneak attack during the duel. I can only say that he deserved to die. Shi Shuiyun's face was like frost. She looked at them coldly and said, if it were me, I would do the same. Slander and sneak attack, even 100 deaths wouldn't be enough. Sure enough, her mouth is vicious enough. Shi Shuiyun is not afraid of trouble. In the face of the pressure from the 2 sect masters, she didn't care at all. Although Spirit sect doesn't know what they are doing here, but since they followed them here, it's definitely not a good thing, at least not a gift. Several elders were startled and immediately shook their heads. Shi Shuiyun's arrogance is too much. Although it can improve the vitality of Jade Palace, it may also bring disaster to Jade Palace. Who can testify? Qing Yunqing sneered and said, as far as I know, it was your people who attacked first. We just wanted to take them back for questioning, but we were killed instead. I didn't expect your Jade Palace to be so unreasonable. Qing Yunqing's words immediately smeared the white into black. Take them back for questioning. Do you think we are 3 years old? Shi Shuiyun said coldly, don't even think about the quota. Please leave on your own and prepare to enter heaven's immersing ancient ruins. Shi Shuiyun's attitude is so tough. She doesn't want to pay attention to them anymore. If the other side is not weak, she would have already rushed to kill them. Although she is only in her early 20s, she is not weak at all. The cruelty she faced in the past is far worse than what she faced now. Killing is nothing, but she usually doesn't do it easily. If she really does, no one can stop her. Qing Yunqing's face is pale. They didn't expect Shi Shuiyun to be so arrogant. She can be so calm in the face of 2 sect masters. It's really a humiliation. Palace Lord Shi, it seems that you don't want to give us face, then don't blame us for being impolite. Qing Yunqing gestured to the surrounding elders to surround them, blocking the entrance so tightly that not even a drop of water could trickle through. The combined strength of the 2 sects immediately overwhelms Jade Palace. This scene immediately made the disciples of Jade Palace pale. Are they really going to be ruthless? Sect Master Qing, what do you want to do? Great Elder stood up and said angrily, do you want to force us? The comprehensive strength of our Jade Palace is not as good as you, but if we really get angry, then don't blame us for being impolite. Angry? Qing Yunqing sneered as if he heard a joke. What other cards do you have? Marry a disciple of Qing Xian Mansion and ask her to help you. Or let your secluded old bastard come out. Listening to his words, you can hear the disdain in his words. It seems that he is not afraid of these things at all. Great Elder's face changed, and suddenly became silent. What's wrong? Can't say anything. You group of old bastards are in secluded cultivation. Even if you come out, your cultivation is only at second or third level of core condensation. And marry a disciple of Qing Xian Mansion? Hee. I'm sorry, Qing Xian Mansion already told us that they will never interfere in this matter. Qing Yunqing laughed. Yes, Qing Xian Mansion told us that they will not interfere in this matter. At this time, a person came out from the outside. It is the Chief Pavilion Lord of Wind Pavilion, Xiang Tianya, another strong core condensation cultivator. This is equivalent to 3 forces gathered together. There are also several elders with him. Their cultivation is also not low. They are also at first level of core condensation. When reaching the level of core condensation, it is already difficult to advance. It is not so easy to break through. Chief Pavilion Lord of Wind Pavilion. Second elder's face suddenly changed. Why are you here? Didn't Wind Pavilion say that they will not interfere in any sex matter? Normally we will not interfere, but your disciple killed our people, that is an exception. Xiang Tianya's eyes flashed with cold light, but more than that, there is a smile on his face. With 3 forces at the door, how can Jade Palace resist? Shi Xueyun has been maintaining a cold face, unmoved, as if she is not scared. Now I will give you 2 choices. First, hand over all the quota. Second, that is Palace Lord Shi will marry me, otherwise Jade Palace will be destroyed today. The one who spoke is Qing Yunqing. He looked at Shi Xueyun with twinkling eyes. Marrying a genius woman, the next generation will not be weak. As soon as this statement came out, all the disciples were shocked. This is not as simple as taking out a quota. This is immediately raised to such a high level. Marry a pig head like you. Why don't you see what you look like? Do you think you are worthy? A familiar voice came from the door. Everyone looked at the door. A familiar figure appeared. It is Yi Tianyun. Chapter 63. Yi Tianyun's appearance at the door shocked everyone, especially at this critical moment. It's no different from an idiot. 3 forces, 2 of them have a grudge against him and issued a wanted order. Now he appeared in front of them. Isn't he courting death? In theory, Spirit Sect also have a grudge against him, even if it's just a competition. In their hearts, they definitely hate Yi Tianyun. Ha, I didn't expect you to come back. We have been looking for you for so long. I didn't expect you to come to our door in person. Do you have courage or are you stupid? Qing Yunqing looked at Yi Tianyun and laughed. His eyes are full of killing intent. He didn't expect that at this time, Yi Tianyun will come to their door. In that case, let's kill him all at once, so everyone is happy. I think it should be courage, and you are stupid. With your stupid appearance, you want to marry our palace lord. Wishful thinking. Yi Tianyun smiled coldly. He just came back and heard this news. Anger immediately surged. Wishful thinking, do you think we are strong enough? Qing Yunqing looked at him coldly and smiled. Believe it or not, I can crush you with 1 finger. This is not a bluff. If Yi Tianyun's cultivation is only at 8th or 9th level of spirit refinement realm, he can really deal with him with 1 finger. Do you dare to try? Shi Xueyun looked at him coldly. Her murderous intent suddenly burst out. The entire hall of Jade Palace immediately became cold. 7th level of core condensation broke out. 3 sect lords' face changed. They can't help but curse in their heart. They have to say that Shi Xueyun is really too talented. She reached this level at such a young age. In the future, breaking through to spirit core realm is not a problem at all. Palace Lord Shi, your cultivation is not weak. But how do you think compared to us? Can you beat the 3 of us? Qing Yunqing is not afraid of her. He turned to the elders and said, catch him. How dare you? Shi Xueyun drew out a spirit sword and flew over, charging straight ahead. But very quickly, Xiang Tianya and Jia Zhiyun intercepted her and exchanged a blow with her. Dang! The 3 of them retreated, but it was clear that Shi Xueyun had suffered a great loss. 1 against 2, she would definitely be at a disadvantage. Palace Lord. They surrounded him one after another. The 3 elders' faces were ugly, and now, they were also angry. Their demands were getting more and more excessive. First, They wanted all the quotas, and then they wanted their palace mistress to marry Qing Yuncheng. Even if Yi Tianyun had done something wrong and killed their son, it was still rude of him to make such a request. I'm fine. Save Tianyun. Shi Xueyun was worried about Yi Tianyun. She was afraid that Yi Tianyun would be captured. Too late. At this time, the two elders have already surrounded Yi Tianyun, staring at him. Shi Xueyun can't help Yi Tianyun now. Not only the distance is quite far, but there are also 3 sect masters blocking the way. It's useless to have the help of 3 elders. The other side also has elders, and their level is almost the same. Unless they have a heaven-defying martial art or a heaven-defying weapon, there is no way to break through and save Yi Tianyun. Tianyun. Shi Xueyun's eyes flashed with cold light, and it's getting colder and colder, even her whole body is releasing extreme cold qi, ready to erupt completely. Palace Lord Shi, can you continue to move? I can't guarantee that the 2 elders won't do anything to him. Qing Yuncheng said with a smile, I'll give you one last chance. Give me all the quotas, and you marry me. But this time you have to add that thing from your Jade Palace, otherwise we will take action, and don't blame us for being ruthless. Of course, if you don't take the initiative to hand it over, we can take it ourselves. Well, you really have this idea all along. Great Elder gritted her teeth, and finally understood what is going on. Yi Tianyun is just a cover, a bad excuse. What they really want is to take the treasure of their Jade Palace. So what? Now the choice is in front of you, either hand over the treasure, or hand over the quota, so that your Jade Palace has a chance to protect itself. Don't count on those married disciples, Qing Xian Mansion can't help you, what else can you expect? If you don't hand it over, not only will he die, but Jade Palace will be completely removed. Qing Yuncheng laughed, the situation is in their favor, there is no need to worry about any mistakes. Shi Xueyun gritted her teeth, looking at the trapped Yi Tianyun, immediately put down the spirit sword in her hand, and said coldly, you want that thing, fine. I'll give it to you, as long as you let Tianyun go. You're really lucky, Palace Lord Shi is so loyal to you, in order to save you, she even took out that treasure, it's really enviable. Qing Yuncheng didn't expect Shi Xueyun to do this. Yi Tianyun, who is surrounded by 2 elders, looked at Shi Xueyun with a complicated look. He was just about to take action, but Shi Xueyun said such a thing, he was moved. He doesn't know what treasure is handed over, but for the 3 forces to take action, it must not be something simple. As for the quota of heavens immersing ancient ruins, it's basically a bonus, the most important thing is to snatch that treasure. Of course, because she is my dearest aunt. No, it should be said that she is my dearest sister, worthy of my protection. Crazy mode, activate. 10 times EXP card, activate. Double crazy point card, activate. Double proficiency card, activate. Consume 5 double EXP pill. Luck aura, activate. As long as it can be activated, he will activate it crazily, without any reservation, completely open. After activating, Yi Tianyun has a wind-chasing blade in his hand, aimed at the 2 elders next to him and slashed fiercely. The speed is too fast, like a lightning around the 2 elders. With a crash sound, the 2 elders were cut in half, their eyes widened and fell to the ground, dead. It should be said that they don't know how they died, because it's too fast, they can't see it clearly. More than that, they didn't expect Yi Tianyun to suddenly attack, they didn't have time to react. Ding! Successfully killed Wing Sect Elder, gained 130,000 EXP, 500 Blacksmith Proficiency, Divine Wind Cut, Thunder Rush Step, 2,000 Crazy Point. Ding! Successfully killed Wing Sect Elder, gained 120,000 EXP, 500 Blacksmith Proficiency, 2,000 Crazy Point. I didn't expect that even Blacksmith Proficiency can increase, they must be blacksmiths, that's why they can provide this kind of proficiency. But he doesn't care about this, his eyes are cold, murderous intent rose to the sky. Chapter 64. As soon as he came back, he encountered these scum surrounding Jade Palace and forced Shi Xuan to marry this trash. This instantly made Yi Tianyun angry to the extreme. What wing sect leader, he is nothing in front of him. In the blink of an eye, he killed 2 elders, which made them stunned. The overbearing power made them feel cold, the terrifying power seems to be beyond their expectation. How long has it been? Less than a month, or even less than half a month, and he is already as strong as an elder. Kill. Yi Tianyun didn't say any nonsense, he immediately killed the elders around him. He is not in a hurry to kill Qing Yuncheng and the others, his cultivation level is lower than them, so it is not easy to deal with them. The most important thing is to kill them one by one, after his cultivation level is higher, he will kill them again. 10,000 swords returned to origin. His eyes flashed a few sharp lights, as if several swords appeared in his eyes. The next moment, he turned into a lightning, rushed forward, and swung his sword forward. Obviously he only swung his sword, but it is like swinging 10,000 swords, countless sword chi burst out in all directions. Ah! Immediately after, screams rang out incessantly. Countless rays of sword chi shot out in all directions. After they hit, they easily pierced through. Blood splattered everywhere, dyeing the entire hall red. In the blink of an eye, several elders fell down, blood flowed to the white ground. Ding! Successfully killed Spirit Sect Elder, gained 120. 000 EXP, 2000 Crazy Point. Ding! Successfully killed Spirit Sect Elder, gained 120. 000 EXP, 2000 Crazy Point. Ding! Successfully killed Wing Sect Elder, gained 120. 000 EXP, 500 Forging Mastery, 2000 Crazy Point. Ding! Successfully killed Win Sect Elder, gained 120. 000 EXP, 2000 Crazy Point. Ding! Congratulations to player Yi Tianyun, successfully broke through to 6th level core condensation. After killing 4 or 5 elders in a row, his EXP increased rapidly, and suddenly his cultivation level skyrocketed. Killing 1 is equivalent to killing a dozen elders, how can the EXP be low? Quick, stop him. Qing Yuncheng and the others are crazy. In the blink of an eye, Yi Tianyun turned into lightning and beheaded several elders. His cultivation level is not 7th or 8th level of Spirit Refinement Realm, but 3rd or 4th level of Core Condensation Realm. Crazy, they've all gone crazy. Suddenly, a monster appeared from the rear and broke their formation. Is this Yi Tianyun? That seems to be the case. His appearance doesn't seem to have changed much. Could it be that he encountered some kind of fortuitous encounter that allowed his cultivation to soar so much? That speed, that power, and that weapon, they're even more powerful than the elders. The disciples of Jade Palace are stunned, Yi Tianyun's cultivation level has shocked them. These elders were scared, and even more scared Shi Xuan. Core Condensation Stage. How old was Yi Tianyun? He was only 16 or 17 years old, but he was already a core condensation cultivator. According to this level, he's even more powerful than Shi Xuan. Boy, don't be arrogant. Xiang Tianya roared and took out his best spirit sword. A cold light flashed and stabbed at Yi Tianyun. Xiang Tianya's strength is at 6th level core condensation. His aura is much stronger than the elders. The extreme sword light turned into a giant sword, fiercely stabbing him, trying to pierce him. He's already using his strongest move, the continuous release of chi waves swept the entire hall, the ground was affected by this sword light, creating a deep ravine. Chief Pavilion, Lord of Wind Pavilion, all of you are jackals of the same lair, a group of animals. Today, I will kill all of you. Yi Tianyun's eyes flashed, the corner of his mouth hooked up into a sneer. Ignorant child, go to hell. Save these words for your next life. In the blink of an eye, Xiang Tianya has already arrived in front of him, waving his spirit sword. Yi Tianyun looked at Xiang Tianya rushing towards him. After activating the appraisal eye, the accurate combat power was displayed in front of him, 35,000 combat power. With the support of a top-grade spiritual sword and a top-grade martial art, his battle power instantly reached 35,000. Although it could still continue to float up, it definitely wouldn't go too far. But his combat power is only 30,000 damage, there is still a small gap between the two. But as long as he releases his martial arts, his combat power will surpass Xiang Tianya, but it won't be easy to kill him. Crazy damage mode, activate. In an instant, Yi Tianyun's eyes burst out a cold light, killing intent burst out, the wind blade in his hand burst out of the electric light, suddenly increased by 2 times. Crazy damage mode, it can increase everything by 2 times. Whether it is speed or strength, it suddenly increased by 2 times. Combat power 60,000, 30,000 points of damage exploded all of a sudden, reaching 60,000 points of combat power, instantly off the charts. Boom! He slammed the ground, rushed forward like a lightning, and in the blink of an eye, he penetrated Xiang Tianya. After penetrating Xiang Tianya, he stopped in the same place. The next moment, Xiang Tianya, who rushed forward, fell forward, slid on the ground for a distance, and no longer moved. Seeing a pool of blood spread from his body, he knew that he is finished. Ding! Successfully killed Xiang Tianya, gained 400,000 experience, martial arts extreme sparking, 1,000 alchemy mastery, 3,000 crazy point. 1 move to kill, there is no difficulty at all. He didn't use Frost Fist, he directly used Wind Blade to cut them one by one. This is the price they have to pay. Phew! A cold light flashed from behind him, silent, many Jade Palace disciples didn't see it clearly. When they saw it clearly, they wanted to warn him, but it seems that it is too late. Get lost! A wisp of fragrance came into Yi Tianyun's nose, it is so fragrant, so comfortable. Then, a beautiful figure landed behind him just like that. She waved the spirit sword in her hand and slashed out a white-silver light. Luo Shui. Voila! An extreme cold was released from the long sword, blocking the sneak attack of Yi Tianyun and blocking his back. Who dares to hurt my Tianyun? Behind Yi Tianyun is Shi Shuiyan, holding a long sword, staring coldly at Qing Yunqing not far away. You are the sect leader of Wing sect, you dare to sneak attack the younger generation, you really have no shame. She completely released her cold chi. Her 7th level core condensation stage cultivation is above everyone else. She is the real expert here. Ant. Yi Tianyun looked at Shi Shuiyan's state, her combat power is as high as 43,000. Chapter 65. Feeling the familiar aura of Shi Shuiyan, the two of them fight side by side at this moment, like a pair of immortal couple. In the face of countless enemies, they don't even flinch. Yi Tianyun's heart is touched, no matter what, Shi Shuiyan will choose to stand by his side, never abandon him. Even Sister Xiaoyan is far less than Shi Shuiyan's feelings for him, this feeling has surpassed everything. This is the highest realm of staying together in life and death, never abandoning each other. Ant. Yi Tianyun is moved. In the face of so many forces, she will never compromise, but in the face of Yi Tianyun's life, she is willing to give up everything. You are finally willing to come back. You don't want to stay outside anymore. Shi Shuiyan's tone is not as gentle as usual, but full of majesty, murderous intent. Yi Tianyun is instantly embarrassed, he knows that Shi Shuiyan is angry, she feels that he hid outside for so long without coming back, not knowing whether he is alive or dead, it makes her very worried. I am thinking for Jade Palace, if it is because of me that Jade Palace is in danger, then wouldn't I be a sinner? Yi Tianyun shook his head, if Jade Palace is strong then it's okay, but now it is weak, if it provokes so many forces, it will definitely be destroyed. But now it seems that from the beginning, they went straight to the treasure of Jade Palace. Although he doesn't know what treasure it is, it certainly is not simple. Sinner. Then I didn't take care of you, I am the biggest sinner. No matter what happens, we will face it together, what do you mean? Shi Xueyan's eyes suddenly become slightly red, she thought a lot, worried that Yi Tianyun will be killed, or caught and tortured. These days she was distracted. If it wasn't for Jade Palace, she would have already run out to search for him. Auntie. Yi Tianyun's throat seemed to be blocked by something. Since a long time ago, the two of them had said that they would always be together and never leave each other. You adulterous couple. Things have come to this, yet you still dare to flirt in front of us. After Qin Yuncheng was repelled, he was furious. Kill them all, kill them all, I don't believe that you two can support the entire Jade Palace. They had brought more people with them. Xiang Tianya's death was not a big deal, but there was still the sect leader of the Celestial Spirit sect. Now that things had come to this, they were ready to risk it all. Kill, kill, kill. Kill them all. Kill anyone you see. We'll stop the two of them. The sect leader of Celestial Spirit sect, Jia Zhiyun, was furious as well. Yi Tianyun had just killed many of their elders. How could he not be furious? Instantly, all of them burst forth with their strongest power and took out their strongest treasures. In an instant, their battle prowess increased crazily. The other deacons and elders all rushed to the side. Obeying the order of the sect leader, they are going to kill everyone here and wash the entire Jade Palace with blood. The cultivators of Jade Palace are generally low in cultivation, so they can't resist the slaughter of these people. How dare you! Shi Xueyan screamed and flew to intercept them, but Qin Yuncheng has already intercepted them, and with a flash of sword and sword, they collided with each other in an instant. Bang! Shi Xueyan was bounced back by Qin Yuncheng. After Qin Yuncheng used his full power, he can actually compete with Shi Xueyan. As expected of the sect leader of Wing's sect, it's not surprising that he has such a high level. In addition, Jia Zhiyun is also standing on the side. He didn't attack, but he trapped the two of them so that his subordinates can attack Jade Palace. If you want to pass, you have to pass me first. Qin Yuncheng sneered, I will let you see the situation of the entire Jade Palace being slaughtered by us. Shi Xueyan's face changed, the killing intent in her eyes is getting stronger and stronger, it seems to have reached the extreme. Bang! Suddenly a cold air burst in the crowd, and the cultivators who rushed to Jade Palace are frozen in place, they can no longer move. Even Qin Yuncheng and the others were affected, all of them fixed in place, unable to budge. The effect of Frost Fist is activated again. I would like to see who can touch Jade Palace. Yi Tianyun snorted coldly, and flew over there, a sword light flashed, and the cultivators who rushed to Jade Palace were cut into several pieces, blood splashed everywhere. Ding! Successfully killed, a lot of EXP popped up again, and quickly turned into the EXP he needs. After Yi Tianyun swept a circle, many cultivators have fallen to the ground, and never got up again. Many people don't know what happened. Inexplicably they can't move, and then Yi Tianyun beheaded them. Everything happened too fast, too sudden, they can't react. Not to mention Qin Yuncheng, even the people on Jade Palace's side can't move. Within this range, everyone will be frozen, regardless of friend or foe. What's going on? Shi Xueyan froze, she noticed that something is wrong, it seems that they are frozen. She knows that this is Yi Tianyun's doing, but this is too evil, isn't it? A large number of people are frozen here and can't move, isn't this a slaughter? And, with me here, no one can touch Jade Palace, and no one can touch you. Yi Tianyun's eyes are full of killing intent, and immediately said coldly, let's get rid of them both. Qin Yuncheng and Jia Zhiyun can't move, they are fixed in place, watching them rush over, but they can't struggle. The effect of this Frost Fist is too heaven-defying, even if it can only temporarily freeze them for a period of time, but for them, even if they are fixed for half a minute, it is already a deadly existence. Shi Xueyan's beautiful eyes lit up, looking at Yi Tianyun, her heart is a bit touched, unconsciously, Yi Tianyun has become the pillar of the entire Jade Palace. Spirit Sect. Kill. Yi Tianyun turned the wind-chasing blade in his hand, turned into a lightning, rushed towards Jia Zhiyun, and slashed his sword, cutting Jia Zhiyun in half. At this moment, Jia Zhiyun recovered from the frozen state, but it's too late, he has been cut in half by Yi Tianyun, he can't live at all. Ding! Successfully killed Spirit Sect leader Jia Zhiyun, gained 400,000 EXP, Spirit Congealing Pill, 3,000 Crazy Point. After killing him, the reward is still relatively small, not too much, can only say that this is too poor. But he doesn't care about this at all, what he cares about is killing these intruders. At this time, Shi Shuiyun also held a spirit sword and stabbed at Qing Yuncheng. When she was ready to kill Qing Yuncheng, suddenly a loud shout came from behind. Don't be presumptuous. A terrifying momentum came from a distance, a huge golden palm slapped over, Shi Shuiyun's face changed, quickly waved her sword to resist. Boom! Shi Shuiyun was directly blown back, sliding a long distance, barely stopped. As soon as she stopped, her face became flushed, and a trace of blood flowed down from the corner of her mouth. It was obvious that she had suffered a serious injury. Chapter 66. Aunt. Yi Tianyun rushed over and hugged her. He took out a recovery pill and gave it to her. Shi Shuiyun didn't look at the pill and swallowed it. Even if Yi Tianyun gave her poison, she will still take it. After taking it, she immediately felt a lot better, and the injuries in her body eased a lot. I'm fine. Shi Shuiyun clenched her sword and stared at the front. Then an old man walked in from the door, looking at them coldly, and a terrifying aura shrouded them. Before, no one is as strong as this old man. Yi Tianyun looked up and suddenly froze. With the appraisal eye, the old man's data is exposed, 9th level core condensation, wearing the best spirit tool armor, earth level martial art, heaven raising palm, combat power 80,000. This is certainly not the old man's limit, the appraisal eye only shows the highest combat power. With the addition of earth level martial art, his comprehensive combat power is instantly off the charts, directly crushing Yi Tianyun's 60,000 combat power. Compared to this, Yi Tianyun is more concerned about the name above the old man's head, glittering gold. Obviously, this is a super elite, and he penetrates the dark red color, proving that he is quite strong. Finally, after so long, a super elite appeared. Azure Cloud Castle is not elite level, it can only be regarded as an ordinary elite, the things dropped are good, but not good. But now there is an old man, a real elite. Finally, a super elite appeared, I don't know what kind of reward will drop after killing him. Yi Tianyun squinted, not afraid at all. The old man has a trump card, he also has a trump card. Ding, do you accept the quest, protect Jade Palace, resist the enemy, reward, 100,000 EXP, 10,000 gold, 1 lottery, 100 points of overall favorability. This kind of random quest finally appeared, it didn't appear before, it must be beyond the range of Jade Palace, so this kind of quest appeared. I definitely have to accept it. Yi Tianyun accepted it without any hesitation. The reward for completing the mission was not bad. Not only did he get a lottery, but he also received an increase in favorability points. As for the 100,000 EXP, he didn't care about it anymore. Ancestor. After Qing Yunqing recovered from his frozen state, he quickly retreated, his entire body covered in cold sweat, he had almost died in Shi Shuiyun's hands, that kind of fear was still unable to calm down. Especially when he was frozen just now. He tried his best to break free, but it took him half a minute to break free. He would have died countless times in a battle against someone of the same level. I didn't expect it to be my turn. I wanted to see if the old guy of Jade Palace will come out of his seclusion. I didn't expect these few people to force me out before those old fellows came out. Qing Tianlong said coldly, you're a bunch of trash, you can't even deal with a small jade palace, how can you deal with big things? The same goes for Spirit Sect and Wind Pavilion, they are too weak. He didn't want to come out, he didn't want to do these things, he just wanted to hide in the dark. If the old guy of Jade Palace came out, he might be able to get a surprise attack. He didn't expect to be forced to come out now, so he had to take action. Heavenly Spirit Sect Master was beheaded, but he was indifferent. Anyway, he died, it has nothing to do with Wing Sect. When he was ready to kill Qing Yuncheng, he had to take action, but this is tantamount to ruining the previous plan. Ancestor, that kid is a bit strange, I don't know what kind of martial art he used, but he froze us all, we can't move at all. Qing Yuncheng pointed at Yi Tianyun in horror. I can see it, I sensed it before. Qing Tianlong looked at Yi Tianyun coldly, I want to see how strange it is. Qing Tianlong took a few steps forward, his murderous aura soared into the sky was full of red color, immediately showing a purgatory scene, forming a unique domain. Qing Tianlong held a banner in his hand, and murderous aura surged out of it. The cultivators who were shrouded by the murderous aura immediately emerged in their eyes, they were affected by this murderous aura. There is a feeling of extreme thirst for battle, no longer afraid of the slightest fear. Kill them. Qing Tianlong pointed forward, ordering the remaining people to rush forward and fight with Jade Palace, he doesn't care about their life and death. Kill. Affected by the murderous aura, they madly waved their weapons and rushed towards Yi Tianyun. They seem to have forgotten the horror of Yi Tianyun just now, they are all confused by the murderous aura, this is the ability of Qing Tianlong. What a strong murderous aura, this old ancestor Qing Tianlong is really not simple, I heard that he slaughtered many cultivators to refine the blood banner in his hand. Shi Shuiyun said coldly, be careful, don't be affected by this murderous aura. No problem. Yi Tianyun's eyes are cold, this Qing Tianlong doesn't care about their life and death, he is using them as cannon fodder to interfere with them and test them. Palace Lord, we will help you. At this time, the three elders have come over, facing dozens of cultivators who don't care about their life, they immediately stood up and prepared to fight together. At this point, no matter how prejudiced they are, they will choose to stand together, instead of quarreling with each other. Okay, let's fight together, those with low cultivation, stay behind. Shi Shuiyun immediately issued an order. When the others have retreated, they immediately rushed forward and fought with the cultivators who rushed up. The cultivators who are affected by the murderous aura, their combat power has increased, especially when they don't care about their life, they don't even try to dodge the sword, they are already crazy to this extent, how can they not be crazy? Get lost. Yi Tianyun slashed and cut the cultivator who rushed up, then after killing the cultivator who rushed up, his eyes are cold, he stared at Qing Tianlong in the distance and sneered, you hurt my aunt, I will make you pay the price. Just now, when Shi Shuiyun was injured, it made him extremely angry. Frost Fist, activate. The effect of Frost Fist is activated again, this effect has a relatively short cooldown time, so it is said to be a super killer. After it was released, a cold light exploded near the green sky dragon and instantly enveloped them. At this time, Qing Tianlong is frozen, a layer of frost quickly appeared on the surface of his body. But in the next moment, Qing Tianlong roared, boom, the frost on his body is immediately washed away by the murderous aura, it is useless. The entire process took less than a second, and the freezing effect was broken. Chapter 67. Sure enough, it's a bit strange, but little guy, it's useless against me. Qing Tianlong sneered and waved the blood banner in his hand, countless evil qi surged again, enveloping them in it. Fortunately, other Jade Palace disciples with lower cultivation have quickly evacuated from here, otherwise they will definitely be affected by this blood banner. After they were enveloped by this blood banner, they immediately felt a killing intent from the bottom of their heart. The most obvious is the three elders. Their cultivation is relatively low, their eyes immediately appeared a blood-red light, followed by a surge of killing intent. At this time they looked around, no matter who it is, they are full of killing intent. This is the most terrible thing about Blood Banner, it can cause them to kill each other. If their will is a little bit stronger, they can block this Blood Banner, but it will more or less affect their mind, and also affect their fighting state. Is that so? Then I would like to see how you take this move of mine. Yi Tianyun's eyes flashed coldly, the blood in his body surged, ready to burst out the strongest combat power. Shi Xueyun floated over and landed beside him, a faint cold aura enveloped him, not letting him be affected by the slightest baleful aura. Tianyun, leave him to me, you go help him. Shi Xueyun's eyes are cold, in the face of such a powerful enemy, she has already used all her strength. Aunt, leave him to me, I can do it. Yi Tianyun knows why Shi Xueyun came here, she doesn't want him to fight, she is afraid that he will be injured. His cultivation is very strong, it's not so easy to deal with him, let me. Shi Xueyun didn't finish her words, Yi Tianyun grabbed her slender arm, and gently dragged her into his arms. Aunt, believe me. I'm no longer the little brother you used to protect, but a little brother who can protect my sister. This time it's my turn to protect you, to protect the entire Jade Palace. Yi Tianyun's eyes are shining, full of determination, without the slightest confusion. Shi Xueyun was stunned. Yi Tianyun's determined face was reflected in her beautiful eyes. She didn't know how long it had been since the little boy who had always been with her had grown into such a mature man. Her eyes turned slightly red. She opened her mouth and said, I'll wait for you to come back. Yi Tianyun smiled and nodded. In the next moment, he turned around, replacing the face engraved in her eyes with those broad shoulders, as if he could bear all responsibilities, all burdens. Immediately, Shi Xueyun quickly retreated, together with the three elders to resist this crazy cultivator, lest he enters the interior of Jade Palace. Palace Master, is it all right to just let him go? Great Elder knows that Yi Tianyun's cultivation is not weak, but in the face of this terrifying Qing Tianlong, there is still a big gap. Believe in him. Shi Xueyun gently spit out a sentence, she now believes in Yi Tianyun. Qing Yunqing looked at Yi Tianyun coming over, looked at him with pitiful eyes and said, I didn't expect you to be so arrogant, coming here alone, do you really think you are a hero? Without that evil martial art, you're just a fart. Old ancestor, kill him. Qing Tianlong sneered, brat, you killed so many elders of my sect, today I will bury you and the entire Jade Palace with you. The elders and deacons of Wing's sect are basically dead, the remaining disciples are of little value, that's why he controlled them to kill Yi Tianyun. Anyway, it's useless to keep them here, they are just a bunch of trash. Really, I want to see if you have the ability to do so. Dragon God's secret art, open. Yi Tianyun looked up to the sky and roared, the dragon roar came out from his throat, and the blood in his body was instantly stimulated. It's like a giant dragon, galloping in his body. The next moment, a piece of golden dragon scales emerged from the surface of his body, and in the blink of an eye, his whole body was covered with a thick layer of dragon scales, and his body became bigger and stronger. A terrifying power flowed out from his strong physique, and he stood there like a huge dragon. Obviously, it's just a layer of dragon scales covering his whole body, but it gives them the feeling of a giant dragon standing in front of them. At the same time, he can feel his combat power evaluation skyrocketing. 65,000. 70,000. 75,000. 80,000. In an instant, his combat power is the same as Qing Tianlong, amazing dragon might is released from his body, it looks unparalleled. For a time, they are stunned, Yi Tianyun can transform, this looks like a dragon's physique. The power that burst out is unprecedented. This is Tianyun's power. Shi Xueyun opened her mouth in shock. She can feel the terrifying power, it's even stronger than her. He has really become the man who can protect me, and not the boy who was always protected by me. This is the dragon race. Qing Tianlong is shocked. His name has the word dragon in it, but it doesn't mean that he has dragon blood in his body. After Yi Tianyun completely transformed, a cold light flashed across his eyes, and he immediately stomped on the ground, turning into a shock wave and attacking Qing Tianlong with a loud bang. He did not use any weapons. Instead, he used the frost fist on his hand and attacked Qing Tianlong fiercely. Go to hell. Seeing this, Qing Tianlong's expression changed, and he quickly waved the blood banner in his hand. As he waved, countless blood skeletons whizzed towards him, and a chilly wind blew. These bloodthirsty skeletons all rushed towards Yi Tianyun, trying to eat him up. Dragon God Skill, First Style, Dragon Soul Flash. In an instant, a giant dragon appeared on Yi Tianyun's body, and the energy that came out from his body when he was running turned into a dragon soul, shrouding his body. Then, the dragon's soul clawed at the incoming blood slaughter skeleton. It swung its huge claws at the blood slaughter skeleton. Swoosh! With the power that can tear space apart, the blood slaughter skeletons that pounced on him were easily destroyed. He easily pierced through them, and the blood slaughter skeletons were useless. As long as they got close to the dragon soul, their souls would be shattered by the domineering dragon power. The domineering dragon power is not to be blasphemed. In the blink of an eye, Yi Tianyun had already arrived in front of Qing Tianlong, and he fiercely waved his heavy fist, aiming at Qing Tianlong. This is a punch for Ant. He roared, and his voice turned into the roar of a dragon and a tiger, soaring into the sky, and his fist was like a huge dragon claw, grabbing forward. Oh no! Qing Tianlong's face darkened, and he quickly waved the blood banner in his hand to block. It looks like a banner, but it can also be used as a defensive tool. In this urgent situation, he can only use all his strength to block. Boom! Under the terrifying dragon claw, Qing Tianlong was forcibly blown away, and he only managed to stop after retreating a few dozen meters. However, the blood banner in his hand had a few more deep marks. Chapter 68. With an explosive punch, Qing Tianlong was sent flying and the blood-killing banner in his hand was destroyed. This was enough to show how terrifying this power was. Although this blood-evil banner is not a top-level treasure, but it is at least an upper-grade spirit tool, but after being grabbed by Yi Tianyun, a few holes appeared on it. How dare you destroy my blood-fiend banner? Qing Tianlong's face darkened. This was a treasure that he had spent a lot of effort to forge. Although it was only a superior-grade spiritual weapon, it was stronger than a supreme-grade spiritual weapon. It should be said that the effect was amazing. Treasures were judged by their effects. This was similar to the effect of the Frost Fist. Although it was only an inferior-grade spiritual weapon, based on this effect, it was not even comparable to a soul weapon. However, this weapon could not be forged, so it was normal for it to be outstanding. Boom! What answered him was not Yi Tianyun's words, but Yi Tianyun's fist. An overbearing punch came again. The terrifying tearing claw came through the air and clawed down with all its might. The huge dragon claw shrouded Qing Tianlong. The terrifying killing intent locked onto him and there was no way to avoid it. Don't look down on me! Qing Tianlong roared, and the storage ring on his hand flashed. In the next moment, a blood-colored saber appeared in his hand. This blood-colored saber was about half the height of a person, and it was covered in dense divine inscriptions. The moment the weapon appeared, a terrifying murderous aura spread out in all directions. It was another broadsword filled with murderous aura. It was unknown how many innocent people's blood it had stained to produce such a murderous aura. Blood stains the mountains and rivers. A red light flashed in Qing Tianlong's eyes and a blood-red broadsword shot up to meet Yi Tianyun's palm. Boom! The terrifying crimson blade light cut the palm in half as if it was a piece of tofu, and the rest of the blood-fiend blade light continued to attack Yi Tianyun. Countless blood-killing skeletons whizzed through the broadsword. Their distorted faces and miserable screams could be heard from the broadsword. Break! Yi Tianyun quickly swung his fist to block, and his fist collided with the bloody saber light. With a bang, he was sent flying, but he only slid a few steps back. The rest of the saber gleam had already been absorbed into his body by his absorbing star's great technique and turned into experience points. As long as it was energy, the absorbing star's great technique could absorb it, so it could absorb the attack and minimize the damage. Such powerful strength. Detailed data flashed in Yi Tianyun's eyes, and he immediately checked the detailed data of the blood-red broadsword. Crimson Divine Saber, Supreme Grade Spirit Weapon. It was forged by absorbing the blood of tens of thousands of people. It is filled with a baleful aura. Those with low cultivation would be easily affected and lose their minds. With this Blood Ray Divine Blade, Qing Tianlong's overall combat power instantly rose to 90,000. Just this broadsword alone increased his battle power by a full 10,000 points. This was equivalent to equipping them with a better weapon, and their combat power would naturally increase exponentially. Tianyun. After killing the crazy cultivator, Shi Shuayun looked at Yi Tianyun worriedly. With the Blood Ray Divine Blade, Qing Tianlong was even more heaven-defying. Could Yi Tianyun deal with him? Again. Yi Tianyun suddenly stomped on the ground and turned into a wave of impact that rushed forward. He once again displayed the dragon soul claw and ruthlessly clawed at Qing Tianlong's body. Again. It's useless, idiot. Qing Tianlong sneered. He gripped the Blood Ray Divine Blade tightly and prepared to attack the dragon soul claw. Just as he was about to counterattack, the dragon's soul claw suddenly swung to the side, and with lightning speed, it ruthlessly slapped at Qing Yuncheng, who was at the side. Forget about Qing Tianlong, even Qing Yuncheng did not expect this. Old ancestor, save me. Qing Yuncheng shouted in horror and hurriedly used his spirit sword to block the attack, but how can his strength be stronger than Yi Tianyun? The attack that he swung was immediately crushed by the dragon soul claw, and then directly pressed on his body. Bastard, don't be presumptuous. Qing Tianlong roared and slashed at Yi Tianyun. The sharp Blood Ray Divine Blade slashed at him, trying to interrupt Yi Tianyun's attack. But Yi Tianyun didn't care about the incoming attack at all, and still slammed forward. Boom! Qing Yuncheng was directly slapped to the ground, flattened by the huge dragon soul claw, blood splattered everywhere. Ding! Successfully killed Qing Yuncheng, gained 430,000 EXP, 1,000 blacksmith mastery, 3,600 crazy point. Ding! Congratulations to player Yi Tianyun, successfully broke through to 7th level core condensation. After killing Qing Yuncheng, his cultivation rose again, and after killing 3 sect leaders in a row, he finally leveled up and reached a stronger level. His comprehensive combat power instantly soared, surpassing Qing Tianlong. From the beginning, he didn't aim at Qing Tianlong, he wanted to kill Qing Yuncheng and gain EXP. He checked that he still has a little EXP left, he can level up, as long as he kills Qing Yuncheng, he can level up. Moreover, Qing Yuncheng on the side laughed that he will be killed by Qing Tianlong, in that case, he will kill him first. Damn it! You son of a bitch, go to hell. The anger in Qing Tianlong's eyes was about to erupt. He waved the Blood Ray Divine Blade in his hand and ruthlessly slashed over. Qing Yuncheng was not his son, but he was his relative. They were related by blood, otherwise, he would not have come out to save him. The fierce blade slashed over, Yi Tianyun did not panic, he quickly waved his fist to block, the dragon's soul claw that he swung out expanded a circle in an instant, the power increased by a lot. Boom! After the two attacks collided, the spiritual power was compressed to the extreme, causing a violent explosion. Both of them were sent flying, but Qing Tianlong was sent flying even further. He retreated more than 10 meters before he barely managed to stop himself. Yi Tianyun only retreated a few meters and then stopped. The difference between them is obvious. His aura became stronger. Qing Tianlong was stunned. This move is stronger than before. Is it his illusion, or is Yi Tianyun deliberately suppressing his cultivation? Shi Shuiyun and the rest all felt that whether it is speed or power, it is a level stronger than before. It even overshadowed Qing Tianlong. Could it be that Yi Tianyun deliberately showed weakness in order to kill Qing Yuncheng? They didn't know that Yi Tianyun just broke through. Who would have thought that after killing someone, he easily broke through? After leveling up, I can really fight against him a little. Yi Tianyun's expression was indifferent. This is not out of his expectations. After his cultivation increased, his comprehensive combat power has reached the level of 93,000. Chapter 69. I didn't expect you to hide your strength. It seems that you can't be allowed to live. Qing Tianlong's face was gloomy. If this continues, Yi Tianyun will definitely become a super strong person. At such a young age, he already has the strength to compete with him. If he is allowed to live, it will be a disaster for Wing's sect. It should be said that if Yi Tianyun escapes, it will be a disaster. It's time to end it. No matter how talented you are still a little too inexperienced. Qing Tianlong picked up the Blood Ray Divine Saber in his hand and slashed at his arm. Puchi, blood sputtered on the Blood Ray Divine Saber. In an instant, the Blood Ray Divine Saber lit up, and a terrifying murderous aura emerged and rose to the sky. When it was stained with Qing Tianlong's blood, the murderous aura of the Blood Ray Divine Saber suddenly increased several times. After this murderous aura broke out, it continuously poured into Qing Tianlong's body. In an instant, it made his eyes become incomparably red, like a god of death. His comprehensive combat power rose in a straight line, suddenly rushed to 95,000, and then entered the ranks of 100,000. But it was not over yet. He continued to rush forward crazily, killing his way to 110,000 combat power. All of a sudden, his combat power increased by 20,000, which was equivalent to the effect of taking a berserk pill. However, taking a berserk pill did not have such a terrifying effect. Berserk pill can enhance strength, but the higher the cultivation, the more limited the effect of the enhancement. What a terrifying murderous aura! Is this the true strength of old ancestor Qing Tianlong? Shi Shuiyun and the others had successfully killed those crazy practitioners and they all ran over, but as soon as the three elders approached, they felt that their minds were affected. They all shook their heads, trying to drive out the murderous aura. Don't try to be brave, quickly retreat, leave this place to me in Tianyun. Shi Shuiyun saw their situation and quickly let them retreat. Their cultivation was not low, but for Qing Tianlong's current situation, it was too low, and they could not resist this terrifying murderous aura. The three elders did not think much, they nodded and quickly retreated, not daring to continue to approach. They all knew their limits. If they were to forcefully break through, they would only be a burden. Shi Shuiyun didn't move closer. She stood behind Yi Tianyun and watched. She did not seem to be making any moves, but her heart was hanging by her throat. If anything were to happen, she would risk everything to save Yi Tianyun. At this moment, Yi Tianyun turned his head and smiled at her, but did not say anything. Then, he turned his head back and looked at Qing Tianlong, saying in a deep voice, "That's right, it's time to end, but you will be ended." "I want to end it." This was the biggest joke in the world. "I will massacre your Jade Palace. From now on, there will no longer be a Jade Palace." Qing Tianlong's eyes were bloodshot and his murderous intent soared to the sky. The Blood Ray Godly Saber in his hand trembled continuously as if it was thirsty for blood. Then, he picked up the Crimson Light Divine Blade and charged over. He stomped on the ground like a god of death. The terrifying pressure caused people's hearts to turn cold. Yi Tianyun checked his attributes, and the detailed data immediately appeared in front of him. Player, Yi Tianyun level, 27, 7th level core condensation, EXP, 128728 Crazy Point Prestige, 70 points Cultivation Technique, Dark North Divine Art, Dragon God Secret Art Martial Arts, Absorbing Stars Great Technique, Sky Cloud Step, 10,000 Swords Return to Origin Weapon, Frost Fist, Scarlet Dagger, Wind Chasing Blade, Heavenly Wind Blade Armor, Snow Wolf Battle Boots, Divine Armor, Shadow Cloak Divine Ability, Crazy Mode, Luck Aura Bloodline, Dragon God Bloodline Ornaments, Forging God Hammer. Power Bracelet, Power Ring, Power Belt. All items, 18 Recovery Pill, 5 Double EXP Pill, Gift Pack LV31120-000 Crazy Point. After killing so many elders and deacons, his crazy point increased by a lot. This is the effect of double crazy point card, it allows him to accumulate so many crazy point quickly. What he needs to do now is to use up this batch of crazy point. Crazy Mode, Level Up. Ding, successfully deducted 100,000 crazy point, level up Crazy Mode. Ding, successfully upgraded Crazy Mode, level up Crazy Mode, level up 2 Crazy Mode, all effects are enhanced by 4 times. Every minute consumes 100 crazy point. The next level requires 1 million crazy point to level up. Dragon God Bloodline, Level Up. Ding, successfully deducted 10,000 crazy point, level up Dragon God Bloodline. Ding, successfully upgraded Dragon God Bloodline, level up 2 Dragon God Bloodline. The next level requires 100,000 crazy point. He upgraded the Dragon God Bloodline and Crazy Mode at once. These were the skills that could improve his strength. As for using them in the lottery, there was no need for that. The things he obtained require too much proficiency, even if he uses double proficiency card, he can't level it up quickly. In the blink of an eye, his crazy point is empty, but the skills are upgraded, the power is naturally extraordinary. Go all out. Tianyun growled, Crazy Mode was automatically turned off when he leveled up, now it is reactivated, the effect of quadruple damage directly rose up. With a loud bang, his combat power directly shot up, rising in a straight line. 60,000. 70,000. 100,000. 110,000. 120,000. 130,000. Finally, Tianyun stopped at 130,000 combat power. This was based on his 7th level core condensation stage cultivation. Suddenly, his cultivation reached 130,000, directly crushing the Azure Sky Dragon. But is it over? Of course not. When Dragon God Bloodline was upgraded, it was also turned off, the dragon scales on his body quickly faded, making sure Shuayun and others think that Tianyun has reached his limit. Dragon God Bloodline, Open. A flash passed through Tianyun's eyes, as if a giant dragon collapsed in his eyes, the dragon scales on his body emerged again, harder and more overbearing than before. An even stronger dragon might was unleashed from his body. After the Dragon God Bloodline was opened, his combat power soared again. 140,000. 150,000. 160,000. Finally, after soaring to 160,000 combat power, it stopped. The terrifying combat power is really amazing, from the initial 30,000 to 40,000 combat power, after using Crazy Mode and Dragon God Bloodline, the effect soared up by almost 5 times. Reaching 160,000 combat power, what's the big deal about fighting above levels, this is crazy enough. At the moment of eruption, Tianyun stepped on the ground, with a bang, he turned into a giant dragon and roared. This speed is really too fast, in the blink of an eye, he arrived in front of Azure Sky Dragon, waved his fist covered with dragon scales, and fiercely punched. Azure Sky Dragon quickly reacted, but everything is too late, whether it is speed or explosive power, it is far inferior to Tianyun. All he can do is quickly block the bloody light divine saber in front of him. Boom! Yi Tianyun completely ignored the bloody light divine saber, and heavily punched the bloody light divine saber. The terrifying power made Azure Sky Dragon unable to grasp the bloody light divine saber. Following that, the crimson light divine saber was punched into Qing Tianlong's body. Qing Tianlong was like a rubber ball that was sent flying. Under this terrifying punch, he was ruthlessly sent flying. With a "pa" sound, he was stuck to the wall. Boom! The hard wall couldn't hold for too long. The next moment, Azure Sky Dragon smashed a big hole, and flew out of the hall. Chapter 70. With just one punch, Qing Tianlong was sent flying away. Even the hard wall of the hall was smashed through and a big hole was formed. Since the Azure Sky Dragon had sent him flying, the baleful aura on his body was interrupted. The baleful aura that filled the entire hall quickly disappeared. Yi Tianyun quickly chased after Qing Tianlong. Shi Xueyun and the others were stunned for a moment and immediately chased after Qing Tianlong. Qing Tianlong, who was sent flying, rolled a few times in the air and floated down. But his body was a little unstable. When he landed on the ground, he half knelt down. He couldn't help but spit out a mouthful of blood. It looked even redder and more terrifying. His face became extremely pale. Originally, in order to stimulate the evil qi in his body, he had already consumed a lot of blood essence. Now that he was hit by a punch, it caused his internal organs to be shattered and directly caused him to suffer a lot of injuries. Fortunately, he used the bloody light divine blade as a shield to block the attack. Otherwise, his body would have exploded. Who's going to end who now? Yi Tianyun came out of the hall and walked step by step. His dragon might shrouded the surroundings, and the baleful aura couldn't get close to him at all. The baleful aura was destroyed by the dragon might. Qing Tianlong suddenly looked up. His eyes were filled with horror. He didn't expect that Yi Tianyun's cultivation could reach this level. It was simply terrifying. His cultivation was comparable to the peak of core condensation, which was a lot higher than him. How could he fight against him? How did you suddenly soar so much? What kind of evil technique did you use? Qing Tianlong's body trembled. He couldn't even stand steadily. Even if there were no problems, the result could not be changed. The power that Yi Tianyun showed was too overbearing. He couldn't withstand it at all. What does this have to do with you? Yi Tianyun stomped on the ground. With a loud bang, a big pit was formed on the ground. He raised his fist and punched again. I'll kill you. Qing Tianlong roared and stood up abruptly. He waved the bloody light divine blade in his hand and slashed towards Yi Tianyun. A blood-red blade light whistled through the air, suddenly transforming into a huge blood-red demon, swinging its sharp claws towards Yi Tianyun. Break! A huge dragon flashed past Yi Tianyun's eyes as he charged forward. He didn't do much, he just directly crashed into it. With a loud bang, the blood-colored devil exploded into a cloud of blood mist. It didn't cause any damage to him. After passing through, Yi Tianyun appeared in front of Qing Tianlong. He swung his fist and punched Qing Tianlong's chest. He roared, "This punch belongs to Auntie." Qing Tianlong wanted to raise the blood ray divine saber again to block, but it was too slow this time. A heavy fist smashed over, and with a dong sound, Qing Tianlong was sent flying. His entire chest had caved in. Even if he was wearing a supreme-grade spiritual armor, it was of no use. His chest was still caved in. Poochie, he looked up to the sky and spat out a mouthful of blood. This time, his body was stiff and he couldn't move at all. He was sent flying, and even his consciousness was blurred. Open! Yi Tianyun roared. He stomped on the ground again and transformed into a huge dragon to chase after Qing Tianlong. In the blink of an eye, he caught up with Qing Tianlong. He clenched his fists and smashed them towards Qing Tianlong. This punch belongs to Auntie. How dare you hurt my auntie? You deserve to die. Boom. The azure sky dragon was smashed down and smashed into the ground. Boom. Like a meteorite, he smashed into the ground. With a loud bang, Qing Tianlong was smashed into the ground. The originally hard ground now had a large pit. Qing Tianlong's body was limp and paralyzed on the ground. His eyes were blurred, and he was only left with one breath. Tianyun. Shi Shuiyun covered her mouth. She couldn't help but cry. This is the man she used to protect, and now it's his turn to protect her. He already has the power to stand on his own. He has surpassed them and no longer needs her protection. But when she thought about it carefully, she felt happy and sad at the same time. Happy because Yi Tianyun has a strong force, sad because Yi Tianyun no longer needs her. Wing sect, will not let you go. Qing Tianlong said with a trembling voice. Don't worry, Wing sect, Wind Pavilion, Spirit sect, I will eradicate them one by one. Yi Tianyun said coldly, uproot them all. After saying that, he lifted his foot and stomped down. With a loud bang, the azure sky dragon no longer had any signs of life. It was completely dead. Ding, successfully killed Qing Tianlong, got 500. 000 EXP, Martial Art, Blood Fiend Soaring Sky, Blood Fiend Divine Spear, Low-Grade Soul Tool, Blood Fiend Bracelet, Low-Grade Soul Tool, Blacksmith Mastery 1000, Crazy Point 4000. Ding, completed the kill of target, got 10 lottery chances, 100. 000 Crazy Point. Ding, successfully completed the quest, Protect Jade Palace, Resist the Enemy, reward, 100. 000 EXP, 100. 000 Gold, 1 lottery chance, 100 favorability increase. The rewards dropped like crazy. 2 soul armaments dropped. This is something he didn't expect. While everyone else was frantically fighting over the soul tools, he was able to drop these 2 soul tools. It was truly shocking. Although it is a low-grade soul tool, but at least it is a soul tool. In addition, there is also the reward of killing target, got 10 lottery chances, which is equivalent to 10,000 crazy point in another way. This makes Yi Tianyun feel pity, he can't get the extra level up, that's the best. But since it is extra, he won't ask for too much. After all, he got 2 soul tools, so what else is there to ask for? As expected of the super elite level, the reward is really much better than those small fries. Yi Tianyun is still very satisfied, but the most important thing is to protect Jade Palace, this is more important than anything else. After killing Qing Tianlong, Shi Shuiyun ran over, knocked his head lightly, and snorted, don't think I will forgive you for not coming back before. Yi Tianyun scratched his head embarrassedly, and smirked, Aunt, this is nothing. I saved Jade Palace. So what if I saved you, it's a different matter. I didn't hear from you before, and I thought you were in an accident. Shi Shuiyun's eyes are red, thinking of the previous worry, but tears fall down. Yi Tianyun hugged Shi Shuiyun and comforted her, it's okay, how can I die? You don't know how powerful I am, no matter how many come, I will kill them all. I am powerful, I will definitely protect Aunt from any harm in the future. He said this from the bottom of his heart, Shi Shuiyun has always protected him, now it is his turn to protect Shi Shuiyun. Humph. Just a few words of praise and you are panting. After Shi Shuiyun came out of his arms, she snorted and immediately smiled like a beautiful crabapple flower. This feeling, but it's not bad. Chapter 71. The matter of 3 great sects besieging Jade Palace has finally come to an end. This news quickly spread out, and all the forces in this area were shocked. A first-level faction killed all the people sent by 3 great sects, and its 3 great sect masters. 3 great sect masters are dead. What is left of these sects? The rest are a group of young people. As for what kind of power they have, no one knows. But the heritage of 3 great sects is definitely not as simple as they think. In the conference hall of Jade Palace. I want to make Tianyun an elder. I don't know if you have any opinion. Shi Xueyun looked at everyone. All of them are elders and deacons. They are all sitting here with a dignified expression. No opinion. Everyone nodded, indicating that they have no opinion. Tianyun saved the entire Jade Palace this time, and his cultivation is so high, even Shi Xueyun is not as good as him. Even if it's an exception, she will make Tianyun an elder. I have an opinion. Everyone looked up and found that the person who spoke is Tianyun himself. Palace Lord, I think it's better to be an outer disciple. We can't break the rules. I think it's good to be an outer disciple, and I'm not good at managing the palace. Tianyun thought they gathered to talk about something. He didn't expect that the first thing they want to talk about is to make him an elder. It's not easy to be an elder, there are a lot of things to do. He doesn't want to get involved in these things. You have to do it. There is no such thing as breaking the rules. Rules are dead, people are alive, you just need to change it. You don't need to manage anything, we just need to prove that you are a member of our Jade Palace, and represent our Jade Palace. Do you think I don't know your ability? Shi Xueyun rolled her eyes at him. She doesn't want Tianyun to manage anything from the beginning. Other elders nodded. They don't trust Tianyun to manage other things in Jade Palace. But when Tianyun saw that Shi Xueyun was glaring at him, he immediately deflated and said helplessly, "All right then, I'll take the elder's seat." The surrounding disciples couldn't help but laugh. Others couldn't wait to become an elder, but he didn't want to. Alright, then let's move on to the second matter. This time, we killed the 3 sect lords. Those old bastards will definitely make a move. Although Wind Pavilion is not a big sect, but their background is not bad, I heard that they are in cahoots with Wing sect. I'm sure they won't let this go. Shi Xueyun said solemnly, that's why we have to be prepared for battle. From the beginning, they've been eyeing our treasures. They've been looking for all sorts of excuses to attack us. In the end, they still want our treasures. The treasure of the palace? Tianyun was stunned. He doesn't know what it is, but he didn't ask. It has nothing to do with him anyway. The third matter, I intend to give this treasure to Tianyun. I don't know what you think. Shi Xueyun suddenly said. Tianyun was immediately stunned. Why did she suddenly give it to him? Palace Lord, you can't do this. The treasure of the palace has always been something that only the Palace Lord can use. This is obviously against the rules. Great Elder immediately stood up. She doesn't object to other things, but this matter is different. Although Tianyun has become an elder, he is still technically an outsider. The Palace Lord is the most qualified to use it. He is stronger than me. It is reasonable to give it to him. The effect will undoubtedly be stronger. Shi Xueyun said, if the 3 major sects attack again, then he will definitely have a miraculous effect. The elders all went silent. What Shi Xueyun said is true. They have all seen the power of Tianyun, so they really can't say anything against it. Wait, what treasure is this? Tianyun raised his hand. After talking for a long time, he still doesn't know what the treasure of the palace is. This is it. Shi Xueyun took out a jade pendant. A faint cold air emitted from it. Just when it was taken out, it made everyone feel cold. The extreme cold air means that this thing is not simple. This is, Tianyun squinted his eyes, and the detailed data immediately appeared in front of him. Ice Soul Jade, effect, can calm the soul, increase the speed of cultivation, when used, can also form a freezing field, freeze everything in the surroundings. Grade, Middle Grade Soul Tool. Middle Grade Soul Tool, no wonder it is called the treasure of the palace, it is indeed qualified. Tianyun nodded, but he wasn't interested in it. Shi Xueyun said to let him use it. no doubt because she felt that if he used that freezing field, the effect would be even more amazing. This is Ice Soul Jade. Not only will it help your cultivation, it can also use the freezing effect. Previously, you used the freezing martial art. If combined with this, it will definitely have a miraculous effect. Shi Xueyun smiled and said. This thing is given out just like that, she does not intend to keep it. After all, it can increase the speed of cultivation, it is definitely a good thing. Palace Master, I don't need it, to be honest, it is useless to me, you should keep it. Yi Tianyun said in a deep voice. Moreover, in terms of physique, Palace Master, you have the cold physique, it is more suitable for me, I do not have the cold physique, so it is not suitable for me. Take it. Shi Xueyun is still so overbearing. No. Yi Tianyun is also overbearing. Shi Xueyun is stubborn, Yi Tianyun is also stubborn. Shi Xueyun looked at Yi Tianyun's firm eyes, finally can only sigh, well, then I will take it. This time, the elders are relieved, fortunately it did not fall into the hands of Yi Tianyun. They treat this thing as a treasure, but Yi Tianyun does not treat it as a treasure. Isn't it just a middle-grade soul tool? He has 3 soul tools, although they are not middle grade, but at least they are soul tools. Now let's talk about the 4th thing, that is the heavens immersing ancient ruins. As you can see, this time we killed the people of the 2 sects and obtained 7 tokens. This means that we have 7 more people to enter the trial. In less than a week, we can go to the trial. Now choose 8 outstanding disciples, and then enter the heavens immersing ancient ruins trial. Shi Xueyun smiled. The heavens immersing ancient ruins trial is a good thing. After coming out, there will be a great breakthrough. Choose 8 again. Yi Tianyun said, what about me? The elders looked at him strangely. Immediately Shi Xueyun smiled and said, you can't enter, you are a core condensation cultivator, you can't enter at all. Heavens immersing ancient ruins can only be entered by spirit refinement cultivators, higher than that, you can't enter. If I can't enter, how can I complete the main quest? Chapter 72. The main quest is still there, he can't enter the heavens immersing ancient ruins, how can he complete it? This is the only main quest, he knows the importance of the main quest. If he can't complete the main quest, he can't continue, how can he complete the main quest in the future? Is it possible that I can't complete the main quest even if my level is too high? Yi Tianyun thinks this is very unreasonable. If his level is higher, wouldn't it be easier to complete the main quest? But he knows that Shi Xueyun won't lie to him, those who are higher than spirit refinement realm can't enter the ancient ruins. They don't know what Yi Tianyun is thinking. Shi Xueyun comforted him, your cultivation is already so high, there's no point in going in, you can't achieve the purpose of the trial. Only those who are in spirit refinement realm can have a better effect. Okay. Yi Tianyun showed a bitter smile, what else can he say now? Who told him to exceed the main quest? If that's the case, how am I supposed to complete this mission and this main mission? The next discussion is to decide the other slots. Suddenly the number of slots increased to 8, it's really exciting. In addition to a lot of tokens, there are also many treasures, such as the blood-killing banner. Originally these spoils are Yi Tianyun's, he doesn't want most of them, only a few, such as the blood-killing divine sword. After the discussion, he returned to his room, feeling a little depressed. He has been worrying about how to complete the main quest. If this continues, he won't be able to complete it in this life. Don't think too much, let's draw the lottery first. Yi Tianyun didn't think too much, anyway, it's useless to think too much, he can only think about it when the time comes. Immediately, he focused his attention on the lottery, a total of 11 lottery draws. This is definitely the first time in history that he can draw so many lottery draws. With a thought, a roulette appeared in front of him, no one can see this roulette except him. Luck aura, activate. The premise of the lottery draw is to activate the luck aura, otherwise the probability of drawing the consumable is too high. Start the lottery draw. After activating the luck aura, he immediately began to draw the lottery. The lottery roulette began to spin rapidly, and soon, the needle stopped firmly on the consumable. What the hell? Consumable, Yi Tianyun felt helpless. After activating the lucky halo, he still received a consumable item. Gulong obtained 10,000 experience pills. 10,000 experience pills, this is a bit too much. Again. 10,000 experience pills was far too lacking for the experience he needed right now. However, his luck was bad, so he had no choice but to draw this thing. Gulp obtained 50,000 experience pills. Again. I've obtained a life. What? Yi Tianyun was shocked, the sudden information that popped up shocked him. When he saw the HP *1 in his inventory, he was dumbfounded. Life can be rewarded. He immediately began to investigate, and the effect of the life attribute was immediately displayed. Life automatically activates upon death, instantly revives. Good stuff. Yi Tianyun suddenly slapped his thigh. The pain made him grimace and gasp. This was definitely a top-notch consumable. What was the most important thing? Treasure? No, it's life. Directly getting a life means that when he dies, he can automatically activate it and revive with full health. It seems that not all consumables are useless. Yi Tianyun looked at the roulette and sighed, I'm sorry, I misunderstood you. Give me more of this thing, the more the better. He certainly doesn't mind the number of consumables, this is more useful than any treasure, how can he complain about more? Again. Soon the roulette began to spin again, and under his anticipation, it finally stopped at the divine skill type. His heart skipped a beat, this time it is a divine skill. I wonder what kind of divine skill will I get? Gulp dash, something rolled down, and then the treasure chest opened, and what appeared in front of him was, luck aura. What? Luck aura, again? Yi Tianyun was dumbfounded, what's the point of having more luck aura? Successfully obtained luck aura, because you already have luck aura, 10,000 crazy points will be given instead. Damn. Try to upgrade luck aura. Yi Tianyun rolled his eyes, it's only 10,000 crazy points, it's more like upgrading one level. After that, he quickly drew the rest of the rewards. There were quite a few good things that dropped. Roughly speaking, they were, HP X1, 10,000 EXP X1, 50,000 EXP Pill X3, Frost Fist, Silver Phoenix Spear, Luck Aura, Tyrant God's Armor, Bad Luck Pill, Power Strengthening Pill. All the items in the 11 lottery are listed out. Among them, the most expensive ones are the 10,000 EXP Pill and Frost Fist. He already has Frost Fist, but it doesn't turn into Crazy Point like Lucky Aura, but it will appear in his inventory. But there are still a lot of good things. Tyrant God Armor, the effect is to maintain the state of pressure for 1 minute, suppressing the enemy. Useless. Phoenix Silver Spear, it's just a simple upper-grade spirit tool, useless, useless. Bad Luck Divine Pill, can be thrown to the enemy, or taken by myself, the effect of bad luck will be increased by 10 times. What is this thing, who should I give it to? Strength Strengthening Pill, permanently enhance strength. This is a good thing, permanent enhancement. Yi Tianyun checked the items one by one, some are very useless, some are very good. For example, life, and this Strength Strengthening Pill. Immediately he took the Strength Strengthening Pill and found that his combat power slightly increased by a few hundred, the increase is too little, he felt that his body is slightly strengthened. Although it is very little, but it is already good, just a small pill, how much can it enhance? But what is the use of this Frost Fist, the grade is still ordinary iron level. Yi Tianyun frowned, this is embarrassing, the lottery often draws garbage, this sentence is not wrong. Immediately he clicked on the inventory is actually equivalent to the storage ring, it can store anything. It can store things in the real world, there is no difficulty at all. When he checked the Frost Fist, he moved it a bit and found that there are two more options on the Frost Fist, Fusion and Sell. There is Fusion and Sale. I didn't look at it carefully before. When Yi Tianyun clicked Sell, a message popped up and a message appeared. Selling price is 500 crazy point. Are you willing to sell? Profiteer. Yi Tianyun silently cursed in his heart. When he bought it in the mall, it cost 10,000 crazy point, but selling it here is only worth 500 crazy point. It is a loss. Let's try the fusion effect. Yi Tianyun reached out, and the Frost Fist in the inventory immediately combined with the Spirit Tool level Frost Fist on the side. The level did not increase, but the proficiency increased. Chapter 73. This is really interesting. The fusion effect can improve proficiency. I don't know if other weapons can do this. But let's see how much the price is, so as not to lose money. Before fusing, he first checked if he can sell it for a high price. If it exceeds a lot, then it will be a loss. Phoenix Silver Spear, price is 500 crazy point. Are you willing to sell? Sell your ass, get lost. Yi Tianyun rolled his eyes. He didn't expect a high-grade spirit tool only worth 500 crazy point here. It's a loss. But thinking about it carefully, if the price of the things is very high, it will be unlimited, which will become a big loophole. Forget it, let's try fusing. Yi Tianyun clicked on the Phoenix Silver Spear. There is also a fusion and sell symbol. He clicked on fusion. But this time the situation is a bit different. A pop-up window will pop up, showing a line of message. Which weapon is the main weapon, which is the secondary weapon? Of course, Frost Fist, Phoenix Silver Spear has no effect. Immediately after Shifeng clicked on it, the Silver Phoenix Spear transformed into a ball of energy and merged with the Frost Fist. The Frost Fist's proficiency had increased by 500 proficiency from the original 1100 proficiency to 1600 proficiency. Good, very good. Yi Tianyun felt very satisfied. This is the effect he wanted. Immediately he also fused the Tyrant God armor. Although it is a weapon and also a defensive tool, it can still be fused into proficiency, increasing 300 proficiency. This is not bad. I don't know how to sell the spoils of war. Yi Tianyun has a lot of miscellaneous things, a lot of martial arts, or ordinary iron level weapons. He doesn't need them at all. It's useless to keep them. Immediately he chose Bloody Divine Sword. This is a superb spirit tool. There are also two options, sell and fuse. When he clicked sell, a bright value appeared in front of him, 5,000 crazy point. Not bad. Yi Tianyun's eyes lit up. Sure enough, only the spoils of war can be sold at a good price. Let's look at other martial arts. He also tried to sell those low-level martial arts. The price is different, because the grade is relatively low. Basically he can only buy 1,000 or 2,000 crazy points. It was the same for those low-grade weapons. They all had a relatively low price, which was understandable. The grade wasn't high in the first place, so how could it be sold for a high price? However, apart from that, there was also the option of fusion, which made his eyes light up. Martial arts can be fused. Yi Tianyun's eyes lit up. He quickly clicked on those human-level martial arts and integrated them into the Absorbing Star's great technique. Just as he clicked on the integration, a message popped up. The grade is too low. I can't fuse it. What? Yi Tianyun was startled. He didn't expect it to be unable to fuse, or was it because the grade was too low? This made him puzzled. It seemed that he couldn't quickly increase his proficiency. He could only transfer the method to weapons and smash those low-grade weapons on the Frost Fist. The grade is too low, unable to fuse. When he chose those ordinary iron-grade weapons to fuse with, this message popped up again. Strange, how can it be useless? Wasn't the previous Frost Fist an ordinary iron grade? Yi Tianyun checked and soon knew what was going on. The reason why the Frost Fist can be fused is because they are of the same breed. different breeds can only be fused with the same grade. For example, now that the Frost Fist is a spirit tool, it can only be fused with a spirit tool. The same is true for martial arts, it can't be fused with too low a grade. It seems that I can only sell it. It's useless to keep it. I don't need it at all. Yi Tianyun shook his head. It's like getting a pile of scrap metal. He definitely can't use it, but he can sell it to the shop and get crazy points. Although it's not a lot, it adds up. Immediately, he emptied a lot of things, leaving only the higher grade ones and replaced the rest with crazy points. He also consumed the experience pill and so on. After cleaning up, he clicked on the property bar to check the current situation. Level 27, 7th level core condensation, EXP, 43728 crazy points, prestige, 70, cultivation technique, Dark North divine art, Dragon God secret art martial arts, absorbing stars great technique, Sky Cloud step, Blood Fiend soaring heaven weapon, Frost Fist, Scarlet dagger, Wind chasing blade, Blood Fiend divine spear armor, Snow Wolf battle boots, Deity armor, Shadow Cloak divine ability, Crazy mode, Luck aura bloodline, Dragon God bloodline decoration, Forging God hammer, Power bracelet, Power ring, Power belt, Blood Fiend bracelet. All items, 18 recovery pill, 5 double EXP pill, gift pack LV31, Life X1, Bad luck divine pill. He didn't sell the Blood Fiend divine spear, but he sold the Blood Light divine blade. After all, he has a few thousand crazy points, and he doesn't have double crazy point card. Proficiency can take its time, there's no need to rush. I finally know what this shop is for. If there are a lot of crazy points, I can buy them and add them to my proficiency. Yi Tianyun shook his head, looking at the horrifying price above, his heart really trembled. How rich do you have to be to spend so much crazy points to buy and add them to your proficiency? For example, the Earth level absorbing stars great technique needs 200,000 crazy points. In fact, this is not very high, but who knows how much proficiency can be added by adding them. Even if it is only 10,000 points, it is a bit not worth it. After all, if he needs to upgrade it, he needs 10 books, which is 2 million crazy points, he can't afford it. Immediately he looked at the consumables, and sure enough, he saw the life column, but the price made him dumbfounded, 1 billion crazy points. I must be really lucky to be able to get this. Let's see how much I can sell it for. Yi Tianyun immediately tried to sell the life, and sure enough, the price did not let him, disappointed, 300 crazy points. Fuck you. Yi Tianyun is like crazy, talking to himself and stamping his feet in the room. It's worth 1 billion crazy point, but it's only worth 300 crazy point. Even if it is only sold for 100 million crazy points. With 100 million crazy points, he can definitely fatten himself up, fully armed, and immediately obtain heaven-level martial arts. Unfortunately, his dream is broken. Honestly, go out and kill monsters. Sigh, it seems that now I can only wait for heaven's immersing ancient ruins to open, then I will see how to enter. After Yi Tianyun finished the lottery, there is nothing else he can do, except to cultivate here. But there is not much time left, he will have to go to heaven's immersing ancient ruins. Knock, knock, knock. At this time, someone knocked on his door. He looked up and immediately knew who it was. Immediately he opened the door and saw Jiu Lingyun. She blushed and said, "Big brother Yi, I will participate in the assessment tomorrow, can I come and have a look?" "I almost forgot, tomorrow is the outer disciple assessment, you will participate, right?" "I will go there tomorrow to cheer you up," Yi Tianyun said with a smile. Chapter 74. Soon it's the next day, it's the official disciple assessment of Jade Palace. Originally the official disciple assessment isn't so urgent, but now Jade Palace needs to rapidly expand its power, so it's necessary to train a group of key disciples. A steady stream of fresh blood is the key to maintaining the operation of Jade Palace. "Big brother Yi, I'm a little nervous." Jiu Lingyun next to Yi Tianyun still feels uneasy. They are now on the way to the assessment venue. She always felt that her level is not good enough, she really has no confidence. She has been used to inferiority complex, she feels that she has no ability, although she has been cultivating here for a long time, she still has no confidence. Jade Palace, a place that she can't even think about, it's really hard to believe. Yi Tianyun encouraged, "Don't worry, I will be watching you, just work hard and believe in yourself." He hasn't seen much of Jiu Lingyun's performance, he just feels that she has a pure heart, very hard work, and very diligent. He believes that Jiu Lingyun will definitely perform well. Jiu Lingyun heard that Yi Tianyun will be watching her, her heart calmed down a lot. Soon they arrived at the venue. There is already a sea of people, there are a lot of outer disciples participating in the assessment, and many of them have relatively good talent. "Look, that elder Yi came with that woman, I don't know how she did it, she actually has a relationship with elder Yi. This is the difference between people, she looks ordinary, she doesn't have the appearance, she doesn't have the talent, she seems to be from the slums. It seems like he's from the slums. He usually lives frugally. How unsightly. Yeah, and she also brought her brother. We have to spend a lot of effort to get in, but she just got in, it's really unfair." Discordant voices came from the side, these are the outer disciples recruited from outside. It has to be said that sometimes their mouth is particularly cheap, they talk nonsense everywhere. The news that Yi Tianyun let Jiu Lingyun join Jade Palace has long been spread, they all think it's very unfair. Some people think that Yi Tianyun made a mistake, how can he find such a refugee from the slums to join Jade Palace? Jiu Lingyun naturally heard these comments, her delicate body shook, her eyes suddenly red, a feeling of inferiority suddenly welled up from her heart. There was bitterness and sorrow. Don't worry about them. Use your strength to prove yourself, and even more so, use your own efforts to fight back. Yi Tianyun calmly smiled and comforted her. Got it, young Master Yi. Jiu Lingyun still did not feel comfortable. She lowered her head and did not dare to look up. Then, he brought Jiu Lingyun to line up at the exam grounds. There were about a dozen people taking the exam. After all, only female disciples were accepted, so there weren't many people. However, when he brought Jiu Lingyun to the side, all kinds of discussions came from behind him, each more unpleasant than the last. "I'm really envious. Just because he hooked up with Elder Yi, he can come to the examination. Who knows, maybe it's just a formality, but he still passed in the end. Don't be jealous. If I were Elder Yi, wouldn't I just let my mother in? My mother is just a farmer, she doesn't know anything. I don't know what Elder Yi is thinking. Why would he fall for her? Usually dirty, every piece of clothing is worn out, and you want to join Jade Palace with this level?" Many outer disciples whispered to each other. If they were not afraid of Yi Tianyun's position, they would have already shouted at Jiu Lingyun to get out. Although the voice is very low, but he heard it clearly. With his level of cultivation, he can hear even the smallest voice. Yi Tianyun's eyes narrowed slightly. He has to say that these people are really jealous. They think that Jiu Lingyun got in because of her relationship with Elder Yi. They even think that this exam is just a formality. Even if the result is bad, he will pass. In fact, he certainly won't do this. If Jiu Lingyun doesn't meet the standard, she can only be an outer disciple, not an official disciple. Public is private is private, the two are different. You can say that about me, but you can't say that about elder brother Yi. Suddenly Jiu Lingyun stood up and said with red eyes, "I will prove to you that I will not lose to anyone. I will come in with dignity, not because of my relationship with elder Yi." Yi Tianyun didn't expect Jiu Lingyun to be so imposing. He smiled a bit. This is the kind of imposing manner, don't be timid. Being timid towards them was actually what they wanted. When they saw Yi Tianyun looking at them, they shut their mouths obediently. They didn't say anything, but the disdain and contempt on their faces were more effective than words. They didn't take Zhou Lingyun's words seriously at all. They thought that it was useless and useless. Don't mind them. This is the kind of imposing manner. Prove it to them with your strength. Yi Tianyun smiled faintly and comforted them. Okay. Zhou Lingyun clenched her fists and didn't say much. Only with strength can you prove everything, and only then can you make them shut their mouths obediently. Immediately, Deacon Liang came to the side of the exam hall. She was the deacon in charge of the outer disciples. She bowed respectfully to Yi Tianyun. Yi Tianyun's position was much higher than hers. Then, she looked at Zhou Lingyun. She wanted to say something, but she couldn't say it. It's okay. Just follow your pace. Be strict. Normal assessment standard. Yi Tianyun said with a serious face. Deacon Liang smiled and nodded gently. She also hates people who can become official disciple just by relying on their relationship. This is irresponsible to Jade Palace. Immediately, Deacon Liang introduced to everyone, this is called Soul Shock Array. It will constantly release spiritual attacks. You just need to persist on it. To become an official disciple, you only need to persist for 9 waves, but if you want to become an inner disciple, you need to persist for 11 waves. This time it's okay. You only need to persist for 2 waves and you can become an inner disciple. Those who haven't participated in this test think so, but those who have already participated are already desperate. It's good enough to become an official disciple. They don't expect to persist for 6 waves. In Jade Palace, there are official disciple and inner disciple. Inner disciple is more outstanding, and they are the focus of training. This time it's only 9 waves. I thought you have to persist for 13 or 14 waves. 13 or 14 waves. Don't be silly. There are too few people who can persist for 10 waves. That's right. Mental energy cultivation is much more difficult than physical strength cultivation. I remember a long time ago, in this Jade Palace, there was someone who persisted for 3 or 4 waves. Everyone is talking about it, and some people have heard some rumors. Yes, there was indeed a disciple with high talent who persisted until the 13th wave. Now he has joined the inner hall, and his ranking in the inner hall is not low. Deacon Liang patiently said, although the standard for the inner hall is the 13th wave, if any of you can persist until the 14th wave, then your reputation in the inner hall will be resounding enough, and you will soon receive the attention of the elders. As soon as this came out, the audience was in an uproar. Isn't this a bit too much? If you can persist until the 14th wave, it is normal to get the attention of the elders. Yi Tianyun smiled indifferently under the stage. This is the outer disciple assessment. The purpose is to test the spiritual power. The strength of a person's soul determines how the whole person's talent is. The stronger the soul, the stronger the attainment in all aspects. Chapter 75. No problem, believe in yourself, you are the best. Yi Tianyun nodded to Zhou Lingyun as encouragement. Big brother Yi, I won't let you down. Zhou Lingyun's tone is very firm. She doesn't want Yi Tianyun to lose face. She worked so hard for so long, it's time to repay him. Immediately she turned around and walked towards the assessment site. Yi Tianyun looked at her back and nodded gently. Because the assessment is done in batches, there are still some outer disciples waiting outside. I suspect she can only last 1 or 2 waves at most, then she will fall. If you want to become an official disciple, you have to at least last the 9th wave. Can she do it? Anyway, let's just watch. No matter what the result is, she can join Jade Palace as an official disciple. It's good to have connections. That's right. Why don't we go talk to Elder Yi? Forget it, I don't want to go, I want to join Jade Palace by my own ability. They think this is a fantasy. It's like asking a poor person to take out a piece of gold. It's simply impossible. But when it comes to relying on connections to join, although they say so, their eyes are constantly looking at Yi Tianyun. Soon the assessment began. After Deacon Liang announced the announcement, the spiritual power impact immediately began. Wave after wave of impact crazily rushed towards them. Soon the first wave didn't fall. If this wave also fell, it will be too shameful. Then the second wave began. They didn't have any problem surviving, including Jiu Lingyun. She easily survived. Soon the third and fourth wave crazily went on. Many outer disciples began to fall, but Jiu Lingyun is like a rock standing in the storm. No matter how many attacks hit her, she won't fall. When a lot of others fell, she can still persist. Then the fifth and sixth wave began. Many of the disciples fell one after another, but she was still standing, shocking everyone. Many outer disciples who have already quit are dumbfounded at this time. Didn't they say she came from slums? How can she be so strong? This is almost the standard of an official disciple, and it will continue to go higher. She definitely can't last the ninth wave. They recovered from their shock and immediately declared that she could not surpass the ninth wave. However, the following scene once again broke their bottom line and completely destroyed the line of defense in their hearts. The ninth wave was easily passed by her. At this time, there were only 3 people who could still persevere. This meant that she had passed the test and became one of the 4. However, everything was not over yet. The assessment was still ongoing. However, the situation outside was already in an uproar, a complete uproar. The outer sect disciples who had previously mocked her for entering through connections were now as ugly as they could be. This was a complete slap in the face. His ability was not weak at all. Most importantly, she didn't stop. She continued crazily. After the 9th wave ended, she went on to the 10th wave. She still persisted. When it came to the 11th wave, she was the only one left in the entire assessment grounds, like a crane in a flock of chickens. The overall standard of an outer disciple was not considered high. Otherwise, they would not be classified as an outer disciple. Being able to become an inner hall disciple was really a bit of a fantasy. Not bad. Yi Tianyun's eyes lit up. Only Jiu Lingyun was left. The outer sect disciples who had fainted from the mental impact stared at Jiu Lingyun with wide eyes after they woke up. Who told them that she entered through connections? If she entered through connections, how could she have such a standard? This was the real deal. Those who said that she was defeated in the first few waves were now extremely embarrassed. Now that she had persisted until the 11th wave, this result could not be said to be very shocking. At least among this batch of newcomers, she was already a top-notch existence. The key point was that it was not over yet. She still persisted. Jiu Lingyun's expression had already changed, but she was still able to persist a little. However, when she finally passed the 12th wave, she was defeated. Persisted until the 11th wave. The eye-catching result was even more shocking. A person who had previously been said to have entered through connections had actually achieved such an unbelievable result. She did not create a record, but she used her strength to prove that she absolutely crushed the others. I don't know how some people's eyes grew. I suspect that they grew from the soles of their feet. Yi Tianyun said faintly on the side. This result was still unexpected to him. He did not expect Jiu Lingyun's soul level to be so strong. Persisting to the 11th wave wasn't anything special, it was just that the difference in cultivation was too great. Too many people were locked by this cultivation thinking. Jiu Lingyun's cultivation was only at the 2nd or 3rd level of the body refinement stage, but it did not mean that her spiritual power level was poor. Now with a strong power, she fiercely fought back against everyone. She did cut the line and saved a lot of steps, which seemed unfair. But with such a strong level, cutting the line undoubtedly saved a lot of time. This was the privilege of a genius. No matter where, there will be this privilege of a genius. Climbing up step by step will only waste time. entering a suitable area at once, then the cultivation will be faster, and there is no need to waste so much time. Yeah, who just said that she came in through connections? This is all based on strength. God, did she rely on connections to get in? Are you sure she's from the slums? Why do I feel that it is not possible? Can the slums have this level? They were about to cry. Persisting for 11 waves was already enough to become an inner disciple, far crushing their existence. At this time, Jiu Lingyun has already come down from the assessment field, rushed over, and directly threw herself into the arms of Yi Tianyun, and cried tears of joy, "Big brother Yi, I did it, I did it." She cried so excitedly, and her delicate body kept trembling. Everything was so difficult. This time, she did not let Yi Tianyun lose face, but won the first place perfectly. "I knew you would do well." Yi Tianyun reached out and patted her back. He could understand this kind of feeling. When everyone was not optimistic about her, she finally broke out and got her own dignity. Soon Jiu Lingyun remembered that she threw herself into the arms of Yi Tianyun, and hurriedly got up from his arms, blushing and embarrassed. Yi Tianyun didn't care about this. He reached out and rubbed her little head, smiled and said, "Congratulations on joining Jade Palace. This time you officially joined Jade Palace. You will be a member of Jade Palace in the future." Jiu Lingyun nodded vigorously and said happily, "Big brother Yi, thank you. You're tuning in to the Blissful Bookshelf YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.